And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 364. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, my featured guest tonight will be the Melee Games couple, and this will be their first appearance on the show. Normally, this would be titled like having a conversation, but I've had this kind of thing before with a daughter and a dad. Pause. We did nothing sexual.
What?
Also,
Hold on.
Also, she was black, so that was automatically going to be a no.
Oh, no.
I also did this with Mike and Mindy Wheeler. So whenever I have like a couple or a dad and daughter on for a show, it's not ever titled to having a conversation because that's usually just a one-on-one thing. So thought I, spice it up tonight, actually. Invite a couple over. Me and my wife, which is a sock, doesn't get me off anymore. It doesn't do it anymore. So I like, let's invite you Native American. Let's say you're Indian. Invite an Indian and a white guy in. Hell yeah. So that's where we're at. Also, we've tried to do this for quite some time because we were messaging for a little bit back and forth. I don't know who I was talking to. I was pretty sure I was talking to the man, which is the person I really want to talk to because, I got to use the girl to get to the man, actually. That's how it really happens with these kind of things.
I definitely run the whole show, and Kay does absolutely nothing at all. And she doesn't handle any of the business stuff or any of the smart stuff. It's all me, baby. Why do I even keep you here, Kay? Why?
I don't know. You should just boot me out, to be honest.
I'm working on it, but I can't get you out. I keep calling immigration. I'm like, get her out of here. But we don't have ICE in Canada, so the Mounties just want to throw me in prison and give you like a little sticker on your head or something, which I thought was racist. But anyway,
it's kind of endearing.
Whenever you go to like a restaurant or anything, if there's Mexicans around, just make sure you order your drinks with extra ice. That's just the easiest way of getting them, actually.
Get them sweat a little bit.
So before we get into talking about some really spicy things, since this is your first appearance on the show, we usually do like the origin story first because like whenever you come on again, origin story is already out there on the show, so you don't have to rehash it again. But before I get to that, your name, Melee, does that come from like Super Smash Brothers Melee?
It does. It's a combo. It's Smash because Melee's my favorite Smash Bros. But also,
you good at wave dashing?
I'm not like a pro at it by any means, but I can do it. And
Melee players for sure don't shower. I've been to those events. These people stink. They're actually disgusting me.
This is what I keep telling her, but she refuses. She's like, no, I'm going to keep playing Melee and I'm never going to shower.
I mean, it's also an Indian trait, so really it all fits in.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a Venn diagram.
Go ahead.
It's also half Monkey Island. I just wanted to give James the Monkey Island credit on the name as well. There you go.
Hell yeah. So you have in the not showering game, and then you have the white man's game from the 90s. That's the combination. Because all the white man was doing in the 90s was sitting in front of his computer being like, how do I solve this puzzle? And then a week goes by, and it's like, all right, I still don't know how. This is riveting gameplay. Everyone else is playing Mario. Here I am just staring at a screen. I
will say, going from Melee back in the day to Brawl was such a shock in just the way the mechanics worked. Like, and the biggest problem was like I know Sonic got the worst of it when it came to the criticism because he was too fast. He was legitimately too fast. All the characters just felt like they were like the Flash. They were all moving at like supersonic speeds. It felt like, because that happened with a lot of games in that generation that went from like GameCube, PS2 to Xbox. Any of the next gen games that came out first that were the big titles that everyone was looking forward to, it felt like a lot of them that came out were extremely just unbalanced, crazy designed. They were really unbalanced in the way of like, let's Brawl specifically. You could trip in a fighting game.
I hate it so much. Oh my god, it's my pet peeve.
Remember, you could trip. It's never been a thing. I was
so stupid.
How can you just trip? I've never tripped in any fighting game ever, but Brawl found a way. I just didn't really like Brawl. I was thinking about it.
Thank you.
I was thinking about it years and years. I was like, you know what? What was my best experience with all the Smash games? For sure was Melee, Ultimate, and Smash. Even I've had more fun with Smash 4 than I did Brawl. I thought Brawl was just an extremely huge downgrade compared to like Melee. It's like going from like Spider-Man 2 to the Spider-Man 3 video game that came out. It's like you go from one to the other. It's like, this is like extremely downgrade. This is horrible. I actually
Oh,
can see why
man.
no one liked Brawl. The fans literally did a thing. What was it called? Project M. They like did their
Yes.
own thing to make it balanced. Like that's how you know that shit was trash. No one attempted doing that with like fucking Melee. No one's like, you know what? Let me go fix the game for you. Oh, it was perfectly fine the way
Melee's
it
already
was.
perfect.
I think the problem was, correct me if I'm wrong, Kay, because this is your baby, not mine, but it was the design mentality of this isn't a fighting game, it's a party friend game. And that was
There's
kind of,
definitely an element of that. Yeah.
and so
Mhm.
like there's a lot of mechanics that are in Brawl that are like, what the fuck you mean it's not good? It's meant to be party and have fun, and everyone's like sweating and playing it furiously. It's like, I need to be the best. Why am I tripping? And so that was a lot of problems with it. And I'm just so happy to meet a fellow Brawl disrespecter. My favorite Smash is Ultimate, and Kay fights me on that. And that's just because I get to play as Banjo-Kazooie, baby. I get to play as Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, you were.
I get to play as King DDD.
Yeah, but
And-
it's just the roster you like. The actual
Damn
gameplay does
straight.
not feel nearly as tight. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it
This
is because I get to go bree with Banjo-Kazooie and shoot eggs out of my ass. So therefore, it's the best one. But Brawl is my most hated. I fucking hated playing Brawl. I played through it. I already hated the Wii because I hate motion controls, and so it was just rough. It was a rough experience. The only thing I like about Brawl, cinematics pretty. It was pretty to look at. It was pretty to see SNES get murdered in like that full CGI aesthetic that they had going on. I was just like,
I will
yeah,
say-
kill them kids.
the intro went hard. Yeah.
I will say when Snake grabs someone in the game and he chokes them, I was like, this is how I felt about this game. That like he perfectly embodied how I felt, honestly. Like,
Yes.
I understand Melee was supposed. I think the creator said it's supposed to be a party game that you're probably not supposed to take that like,
Yeah.
seriously. He doesn't know that. That tells me right there, the people that create this stuff, even just from a level of like what people that we actually like their stuff, they don't interact with everyday average people enough. They just don't. If he actually knew what happened in these days when you're playing Melee competitively, just with friend groups that were just straight up casual, it was insane. Like, you people don't interact with humans enough. And they say, people are like this. How many people you interact with a year? They're like, oh, I just interact with my family. That's just not enough. Sorry, buddy. That's just
Have you been
not
outside?
it.
That's plenty. I don't even want to interact with my family. Are you kidding me? I think Sakurai's gotten better at it because like he has like, I think it was with Smash 4, like the Wii U 3DS one. That was Smash 4, right? That's when they started to be like, okay, what do you fuckers want in the game? And everyone's like, we want Goku. And it's like, we're not putting Goku in. It's like, no, we want Goku.
You know how much money they would have to give Toei for just even to like license the character? You'd be giving like, I don't know, because at that point you would have been giving them so much money, the game cycle would have already been gone through. It's like that wouldn't even be honestly worth it, you know. So hopefully, when it comes to Smash 6, they can have Goku finally the game. Then again, he'll be extremely. If he's not overpowered, that would be shit. Honestly.
Yeah, he has to win every time, or else there's no point in it being there.
Well, that was the argument with Ripley, right? Then they were saying for years you can't. I always get it confused. Ripley, which one is it for Metroid?
Ridley, because
Rid-
Ripley
is it
is
Ridley?
Alien, isn't it?
Ridley Scott. That's right. So yeah.
Yeah, it's Ridley.
So that was the issue with Ridley forever. Is they're like, we can't put Ridley in. The motherfucker is too damn big. And then finally they were like, fine. Ridley's in, and he's small Ridley. Are you happy? And we're like, yeah, okay. So I mean, Goku is not gonna be like super OP as shit. He's not gonna be anime Superman like one-shotting
Goku
everybody.
has to spirit bomb everyone with the Smash Ball.
No,
And
he's gonna get Ultra Instinct because if you
there you go,
in casual, if you hit that ball when he gets it, it'll be just like what Mario gets. He'll be just super overpowered and you can't kill him. He's just one shot everybody. That would be funny to see. I remember I was stupid as a kid. We played like one Metroid game as a kid. I thought Samus was a dude. I always thought Samus was a dude. Yeah,
that doesn't
and then
make you stupid. I think everyone thought that for a while.
It was
until
I
they
assumed
really-
gender. I assumed. I'm sorry. And then when I played Brawl, you could like hit the ball and take her armor off. I was like, that's a girl.
You found out then? You didn't
I
find
found out then.
Oh,
No.
Wow. So you didn't
okay.
see the like original reveal back in the day.
No. I was
Oh
we
my
were like
God.
Full-on
different kind of
3D.
gamers back in the day. So,
Okay.
but it was nice that they gave because I remember in Brawl she wasn't actually her own character. It was you
Because they
have
had
to
the
take-
zero suit and
It
everything.
was zero,
yeah.
they split it into two, and then it was for Smash 4 that they made it so I think that was the one where it was like the ultimate is so powerful that then she strips her clothes off, which I'm like, why can't every woman
Damn,
do like
you
this?
know,
But yeah.
And then you know in those Nintendo Directs when they reveal new Smash characters, it's always a sword character, like sword character L. They're just Smash.
It's fire. It's your fault. It's Fire Emblem's
God,
fault.
I know. Look,
It's
I
Fire
love
Emblem
Fire
fighter.
Emblem, but like, just give Fire Emblem a separate fighter. We don't need every
Thank
Fire Emblem
you.
character ever created in this.
Yes, we
like,
do.
It's fine.
We need all of
can't.
them there.
You just keep adding them.
All the heroes. I know. I'm waiting for Fire Emblem to infect Mario Kart, and then it's gonna turn into Fire Emblem Kart. It's gonna
Marth
fucking
just
happen.
throwing a sword through Mario's neck would make my day.
Oh dear God! Fuck your shells, bitch! And you just throw the sword. Oh God!
Turn-based Mario Kart.
All right, so let's start it this way. We'll start with James, which is
Okay.
actually one of my close friends. His name is James, and he's also white.
Oh shit! Wait, do we look
Are you
the same?
Are you basically him if he was Canadian?
Maybe, I don't know. So you know how all white
Long
people
lost
see
twin.
all Asian people the same? Do I look
Yeah.
exactly like him? Am I an identical twin, or are we different white people?
I think you might be a little bit better looking. No homo.
Ooh,
But
I like this guy already. Oh my God.
God.
It's a Highlander James edition here.
the other one is just a glorified sugar daddy. Okay, he's gonna watch this. He's gonna beat me up. Oh my God. So, how was your life growing up? We'll start with you.
What was my life growing up? It's a terrible, horrible blur. Do you mean like in relation to games or just in general, or like?
Well, were you picked on for being a gamer?
You know what? No, not really. Because some of my earliest memories were like kind of being almost glorified as a gamer, at least like when I was in elementary school. The thing is, like, we can talk interchangeably because like we met in kindergarten, so we went to school together, and so I've known her for her whole life. But Kay, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the way it was going, at least from my experience, was I was the person that went on the internet first, which led to a lot of trouble. But because of that, playing video games as a kid, all the like other kids, whether I wasn't like unpopular or anything, but like the popular kids who I guess would like secretly play games, they would go to me and be like, "You got the cheat codes, man, to Spider-Man on PS1?" I'm like, yeah. You just enter
Good old
eel
tips and
nets.
tricks books.
Yeah.
Gotta
So
love 'em.
I went on game cheats and all that stuff. So like it was kind of, I was such a gamer that the people that kind of just casually played games relied on me for all the highly autistic information. And so it was actually kind of the opposite of that. There was a very big bonding of that. But I do remember like throughout all of our childhood and even to our teenage years, everybody that was like in our class, they were all friends. There wasn't really any bullies or anything. And I even remember talking to teachers as we were graduating and them saying like, there's never going to be a grade like you guys, like all you guys get along. It doesn't make sense. Like the nerds are friends with the jocks. Like what the fuck is this class? And
I think they just have to say that.
No, because my favorite teacher said that to me in front of a class as I was leaving to like 2 grades below me. And then he just stared at them and they were all looking back at him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm talking about you." And you know the teacher I'm talking about. And it's very true. So no, I was definitely not bullied, but yeah, I loved I love video games growing up. I've always been like super eccentric and like passionate about them. And I grew up with Kay, and we kind of grew up playing the very different games. I was actually talking about this last night with her, where my childhood.
You talk to a girl?
I don't want to.
I don't know why he does it. It's crazy.
That's gay.
Sometimes you just have to tolerate them, and then you can talk to the boys again. Okay?
You know,
like, you get your quota in.
Late 11 o'clock at night when you're about to go to bed and the feelings start coming down below. You're like, you know what? I guess I do need girls at this point.
Shit, last night, instead of that, I played Marvel Rivals. You went to sleep, and I played Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, all right, see ya. I'm spending my time with fucking Luna Snow, baby. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, it was crazy because like she grew up with like her childhood system was a Genesis and mine was a Super Nintendo. And then like throughout elementary school, I was PS1, but she was N64. So I was just talking to her last night and being like, it's really interesting how like our childhood, like we were both like super intense autistic gamers, but we played completely different games. And like we obviously know about, you know, I know what Mario is, even though I played Crash Bandicoot and all that. But it was just like that kind of forms you as a kid and like kind of forms like how your personality is playing like different games and everything. So it was good. It was good. Video game filled childhood full of a lot of things. But yeah, I don't know if you want to be my therapist and you can ask me all about all the traumatic stuff. But that's the short video game relation.
Which console brand did you primarily switch, like go to? Because I know everyone always had Nintendo. Because when people say they're Nintendo fans, like everyone kind of has a Nintendo, just because you know it's really always between PlayStation and Xbox. Were you more of a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy?
Well, I was actually more of a PC guy. Like I grew up on DOS
so you had money. Us poor people who had nothing.
Ah!
Were you a WoW enthusiast? Were you a WoW
Oh,
enjoyer?
buddy, I was on WoW for from vanilla all the way to Legion, on and off. So that is a good
What
15
made you
years of my
quit?
life. It was terrible. I can actually tell you what made me. I was quitting back and forth. I didn't like the design changes. I don't know if you played WoW, but man, I can
My
talk about
friend did.
WoW.
My friend James, he did. So there,
He's literally me.
so I know. So there was something that I know the community was very mad about. Because I know in the
A lot
game
of
you had
things.
to grind and level up to all your
Uh-huh.
characters. So like to level 99 or 90 was the biggest level, right?
At
And then
one
there was
point, yeah.
and then there was, remember how they used to release these like CDs or that was like patches or whatever or some shit like that.
Yeah, the
There was a
expansions.
patch
Yeah.
in one of the expansions I remember you could just get level 99 characters. Like wait,
Yep.
what?
That was a selling point. That was actually, man, you remember a lot. That was actually one of like the first controversies. That was before like the huge controversies.
Mhm.
That was like when people still liked the game and didn't play it because I've spent my whole life here. I might as well just keep going. Why stop now?
That's like literally a bad marriage. Like, you know what? I can't really
I
leave her because she might take my money, so I'll just stay with her. You know?
I know people. I know quite a few people that still play it. And they admit they hate it and they loved it back then and it's a different game now, but they're like, I have been playing this every day since 2004. Am I going to stop now? And it's
Right.
just like, well, fuck, I'm glad I got out in 2012 then,
Yeah.
fully.
Because
So
people just don't
it's an investment.
remember why that was a big problem. It's like that. Okay, so I know a lot of people say when you have conversations, there's politics that seep into them. But I will say this is a very key aspect of it. The reason why communism and socialism can't really work in practice, guys, is because those systems punish people who work more and reward people who work less. So what WoW did with that expansion pack essentially was rewarding people with free shit they hadn't actually worked for while shitting on people who had actually played that game for God knows how long. Like, see how disrespectful that is? Like, if you're sitting there grinding every single day for all those characters to hit level 90, it's a lot of hours you put in raids and
Yep.
all that shit, right? Only for this expansion pack to come out and go, here's a free highest character you want. What the fuck is that? There has to be a better way of getting people to play the game than just giving them free shit that they didn't work for. They didn't earn any of that.
And what's funny was, like, I was surprised hearing you say that because there has been so many more controversies, so many more blunders by Blizzard over the years that is like minor in comparison. Like back in the day, that was a huge deal. That was like one of the first big controversies, but they've had so many worse things that, like, on the totem pole, that's all the way at the bottom now.
The Bobby Kotick sexual assault allegation. Oh my god.
Oh god, yeah.
The Overwatch League failing. I knew that was gonna fail. But
of course.
Yeah, because man, God forbid Overwatch League becomes the esport that everybody goes to home and away games for. It's like, no, that was just a pipe dream.
No, and I mean, you're talking to someone that played like hundreds of hours in Heroes of the Storm, but I knew that was dead. If you remember that game, that was the legal.
Yeah, I played a few games of it. It just wasn't my thing. I thought the graphics were ugly. I thought they were terrible looking.
They were like a weird stylized cartoony version of what Blizzard games look like. But yeah, I really just liked it because I like the Blizzard IP, and everything that wasn't hooking me on like League of Legends was different in this game. And I'm like, I know it's not as balanced, but I really liked it was communism in a MOBA, because instead of having individual levels, you had like team levels. And so everybody kind of works for the team, and there was no inventory. So instead it was like every time you level, you chose a different ability to add to your repertoire, so to speak. So it's like the characters could play drastically different just based on, like, do you want to do A, B, C, or D once you hit level 5, and then level 10 and 15 and all that. And so no inventory. It was a lot more action oriented. But man, it would always
play Hearthstone.
I played a little bit of it. I've told this story before. I'm not into TCGs that much. I played it only because Blizzard, and I was a big Blizzard head back in the day. But my best friend was super into it. And you know how TCGs are. He wanted to play me nonstop, and there was no appear offline for Hearthstone back in the day. And so every time I would log on, he'd be like, fight me. And I'm like, you're gonna win. You've been playing 200 hours. I got through the tutorial. And so I quit, literally just because my friend just constantly wanted to play me, and I couldn't fucking practice without him seeing the little ping that I was online. I'm like, you know what? All right, fuck this game.
I hate people like that generally. Like when it comes, like, they're good people to be fair, but when you have that insufferable person who is just obsessed with just beating you because it makes their ego feel better, it's like, dude, leave me alone. What are you doing? We're not pros. We're not the highest tier here. Beating me literally means nothing in the grand scheme of things. But they're like, I must crush you. You are my sworn enemy. What's wrong with you, man?
It's like, oh look, we're 20-0 yet again. What a surprise! So much fun! Yay! So yeah, so I didn't play a lot of Hearthstone for that reason. Literally, I liked it. I don't play Pokemon or any other TCGs.
That's
I've never
for
been a card
losers.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I don't play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have been the one. That would have been the one I get into, and it was kind of snuffed out for me because of my very over eager friend to just beat my ass, which he did several times.
Because didn't Blizzard have Call of Duty? I'm pretty sure they were the ones that had Call of Duty, right?
No, well,
It's Activision.
That's a whole mess of things.
Yeah.
It's not Blizzard, it's Blizzard Activision because they had a merger. So Call of Duty comes from the Activision side of things. So yeah, it's so they technically do now, but in name only. They never had anything to do with it. It's not a Blizzard game. Blizzard was Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. That was really their big ones. Now Overwatch was like kind of the fourth one. And then little obscure things here and there like rock and roll racing and Blackthorn and all that stuff. But it was really the studio of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. So they had all the same games. One was fantasy, one was sci-fi, and one was demons. And so take your pick. And they're all great. In the 90s, if you're a PC gamer, you considered Blizzard the king of PC gaming. It was like you're playing Blizzard games and you're playing like Doom and Quake. And that was PC gaming. And
Quake. I haven't heard that in years. Holy crap.
Man. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we both love Quake. Quake is the 9 Inch Nails edgy shooter. It was the son of Doom, which Doom will always be my beloved, but yeah, Quake is great.
No. Quake is my beloved over Doom.
Don't fucking start.
I love both, but man, Quake, just the edginess of it.
I'm an old man and I like my Doom, god damn it. But yeah, no, Quake's great. David Lynch kind of worked on Quake, so I have to love Quake just for that reason.
All right, Kay, how was your life growing up?
I had to deal with this guy my whole life. No, it was great.
Fight.
I was very so Sega Genesis was my first system. Sonic 2 was my first game ever, and then I got my introduction to comic books through the Sega Genesis.
Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Oh, Sonic Adventure Battle 2 is amazing as well. That was like a huge thing in my childhood. But on the Genesis, I was like all about Maximum Carnage, so that made me a huge Carnage fan, and I got really into Spider-Man because of that. And then X-Men 2 Clone Wars was another game I was playing a lot on the Genesis, so I became like a huge X-Men fan. So the Sega Genesis was like my gateway to being like, what is all of this like cool stuff? I remember being super young and just being like addicted, constantly stuck to the TV. And then I got an N64 for Christmas. That was my first like Christmas console, and that was a huge deal. I got the Jungle Green Donkey Kong edition, and I was like obsessed with it. And I was a huge Donkey Kong 64 fan, Mario 64, like all the classics, Mario Kart, everything. I know James was more the PS1 guy, but I did have a bit of PS1 that I liked. So I was into Mutant Academy. And I was also into Tomba a lot too. I was playing a lot of that. So that's where I got my Final Fantasy experiences. Like it was, my life has just been all gaming pretty much. Same as James. It just kept going. Dreamcast was a huge thing for me. I don't like what happened to the Dreamcast. I believe in the Dreamcast too. I think we're going to reach it someday. And I think Sega's going to have a comeback. Xbox is on the out, and Sega has the perfect opportunity to swing in. I know it's a dumb pipe dream, but I want it so bad.
Just like the Google Stadia. Remember Google wanted to be in the console gaming?
Oh my god.
Remember the ads were everywhere? The whole Stadia thing came out, no one cared. It just I just don't know what happened. They didn't even try. They didn't even try.
They really they were just like, yeah, we'll just enter the market, no big deal. And it's like, nobody wants this. Like this plays like crap. I almost got like the Stadia controller just for the history of it, and then I was like, no. Like I do pick up stuff for the history of it, like the Ouya, which was the infamous console that like small time ended up at E3 in the parking lot, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like a new console's trying to break in. It did nothing.
So you grabbed Concord as well?
No, God, no. I wouldn't do that to myself, man.
It's a relic in history. It died in 2 weeks.
That is literally the game that died the quickest ever. I can't think of a game that had like such a meteoric like just crash. And
I remember when Sony was like, we need our own Overwatch competitor, and then they didn't even give it 2 weeks to survive. They're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, it's insane. And like with Marvel Rivals too, when we first saw the footage, I was like, oh, this is just gonna be more of this crap. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals is taken over. Like for me, I'm like, I like Marvel Rivals more than Overwatch at this point. And I used to love Overwatch.
I downloaded Marvel Rivals. I have it. It's just
It's fun.
okay. Like the reason why I don't play it is because I'm scared of being not just shitted on. I don't care about that. People just yelling because I'm just running down the game because I'm new. Oh god, I hate that.
It's gotten
James has
so
been
much
dealing
worse.
with this. Yeah, like
I
he's
was
been dealing
yelling-
with it playing offline.
I was complaining about her to her about this today because the player base is not dying so much, but it's getting smaller. Like it's getting a little bit smaller, and I've noticed there is a lot of Zoomers on there that if they aren't winning immediately, they stop what they're doing, they stop playing, and they start typing and complaining about everybody else on the team. And I keep going, can you fucking play? And maybe we will win, because they'll
Yeah.
immediately be like, oh, we got wiped once. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. And it's like that's not what Marvel Rivals was like a year
It's
ago.
quick play. Like just
quick
have
play.
fun
I
with
know.
it. It's not a big deal. So if you ever do want to play, sometimes we do community events and we'll play with people in our Discord. So if you ever just want to play with a group and like not be yelled at, we can do that.
I will yell, but we won't yell at you.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
white man yelling at a black guy is just poetic. That's just history. So that's
Well, it's
fine.
illegal in Canada. I can't even do it. So
Really?
like,
That's
yeah,
fucking
no,
crazy. Oh
yeah,
my
you can call the
God.
Mounties on me, and then I'll be taken away.
He yelled
Oh,
at me for
God.
playing Gambit wrong.
Yeah,
I remember
exactly.
He's coming.
what was one of the Marvel Rivals like controversies when it first started? It was pretty much that one character, Emma Frost, like the way she looked. People thought that
sexy.
was too like I just want people to know. If anyone doesn't even know who that character is, who is a really you would know fucked up line in Marvel Comics history with X-Men. People said that image of her was too revealing. There's a current ongoing Emma Frost comic series that they publish right now. You can guarantee people are only buying these for the covers. She's literally wearing just a white coat and like a one piece, and you can see her tits, and you can pretty much see the shape of her fucking vagina. Now I buy those for the covers. I don't read the story because that's what idiots would do. Only idiots read. But
yeah, very true.
If you're saying that's too sexy, I highly introduce you to looking at those current Marvel Comics covers for her series right now.
She's known for her sex appeal.
Exactly,
I don't even know why they're getting shell shocked at all that she looks like this. She's known for it out of like almost any character.
That's because the women that they've talked to in life, these kids growing up, are all fat, disgusting slobs who don't shower. They're like
That's
over
true.
200 pounds. They think that because the whole body positivity thing, you're supposed to always say the nice thing. If you don't have anything
You're
nice
so
to say, don't say it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
So
girl
beautiful,
slay.
sweetie.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. Actually, are you a big comic book guy? You're big into reading comics,
yeah.
all that stuff. So I used to be big into comics, like loved reading them. I fell out around 2010 just because, as we all know, they got hyper political. But I saw this come across my feed recently, and this was a fucking rabbit hole. I never heard of this. Have you heard the name Greg Land? Do you know Greg? Oh my God. Okay. So this is a rabbit hole that you may like, and I'll just give you the quick rundown. Greg Land is a Marvel comic artist. He's an older guy, older white guy, been drawing comics for years. But what he does is he traces over porn and he puts it into comics. And so there's all these shots of Greg Land art where like all the girls are doing like O faces pretty much, but it's like they're fighting. And I was just reminded thinking Emma Frost too sexy. And I'm like, oh my God, the Greg Land rabbit hole is crazy. And I found full websites that are like, here's this shot in porn. Here is Greg Land's version of Invisible Woman getting hit by Dr. Doom. And they're doing the same like face because orgasm faces and being in pain kind of look similar. So he traces over all these women in porn. So anyway,
Genius.
Greg, he is a mainstay Marvel artist, and so that anyway, there you go. There's a good rabbit
I've never
hole for
heard
you.
that name. That's
I didn't until recently,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, he's worked on Fantastic Four. He's worked on X-Men, mainly in the Ultimate series. X-Men.
It probably
Phoenix.
got overshadowed recently because of that Magic Marvel comic issue drama that recently came out. It was when like apparently they were implying that the demon, like she enjoyed being SA'd because she was controlled by demons or some shit. Like I'm not. Yeah, that just happened. But this
I
is
saw it Magic trending the other day, and I didn't know why. Okay.
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah. So this is kind of what it was right here. It's so weird. Like, man, I hate people sometimes when it comes to comics. They're so fucking snowflakey. So I was saying all these accounts on Twitter, they always got pronouns in their bio. They always got trans flags. They always got that weird shit in there.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck Marvel. So like the demons are saying this weird shit, and then she's like right here, and then she like there's another image of her being like transformed into like a demon or some shit, basically submitting to her like rapist or something like that.
Oh
Like,
my god.
I just want to point out to people here is that like life isn't rainbows and sunshines. Like, maybe that is just done for shock value purposes, which is, those things kind of happen in a lot of stories. But just want to point out, if you're never allowed to like actually do anything in a story, then you just run the risk of just being fucking, I don't know, what's the word? You end up becoming stagnant, actually, is the best word of saying it. You're
Yeah,
not allowed to
exactly.
actually do
Absolutely.
anything.
You have to be able to be dynamic and challenge things and go into those risque topics, or else it's just the same old thing constantly. And there's no like sort of development or excitement that can happen from that. It's really annoying. I
Absolutely.
like good storytelling. So for me, I'm like, you should have the full rights within the story to write anything you want.
Yeah,
Right?
it's also interesting that people kind of want. I get it. In superhero comics, you kind of want guy saves girl, villain of the week kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But it's just like, I don't really. I'll be honest, everyone's gonna watch this. I don't really get the problem, honestly. Like, people are mad that demons would do demonic shit. It's like,
Yeah.
what in the world? Like, I was a bunch of people that are watching young artists. Life is not rainbows and sunshines. Whatever you watch in those Disney movies growing up, that's not real life. No,
Yeah.
if there's a princess walking down the street and there's like some dangerous guys in the alleyway, they might attack her. That's just what happens. And you know, she's not gonna get superpowers and beat all them up in the movies. It's not what happens. She would probably be killed. So just
No, you're talking to someone where one of my first controversies was literally just defending the Killing Joke on Twitter, and people were going ape shit and all that stuff. You know, the Killing Joke, of course. It's one of the most famous. Yeah, one of the most famous Batman comics
yeah, I like
ever.
that book a lot. Yeah,
And and so obviously there's the writer denied it, that it happened, but it's like implied that there may be sexual assault that happens in it from the Joker, even though he came out later and said that didn't happen. But you can read into that if you want. And
that was
then
a long-standing theory for the book. That's like the main one. Yeah.
And so me just saying like, it's fiction, they can do whatever the fuck they want, was made a whole lot of feminists, like, maybe, what year is it? About 10, 12 years ago.
Oh,
just
this
go
must be 10 years ago. Yeah.
completely ape shit on me. And it's like, this book is older than us. It's fine. It can exist. You don't have to read it. Just let it happen.
It's not actually happening to a person.
No,
Like-
Barbara Gordon is not real. I wished when I was a kid that she'd be real, but she never showed up. So sadly, she's not real. She never wheeled into my life as Oracle. So
I think this was another one here. I'm trying to find it. Man, these people are just so God, man. This is the audience that they wanted to some degree with what they've been doing with a lot of the characters. Like, these people, I'm being honest here, don't buy physical comics.
No.
Like, these people, for the most part, I would say don't read them. And if they ever do, they're pirating this shit. So they're not actually spending money on the product. And you guys know how all the system works anyway. So even if they bought comics at a shop anyway, it doesn't really kind of matter, because Marvel's already getting paid from the distribution model anyway, because it goes from publisher, distributor, comic shop. You're only hurting your local comic shop, not buying the books. I want people to understand that when you pirate books, you only hurt the shops. That's just one person hurting. They're like, I'm sticking it to Marvel and DC. Doesn't matter. They already get paid up front. They actually literally just get the money up front. They just don't care. That's why they don't change anything. But that system's been fucked for a while. God damn it. It's
Absolutely. I always said that comics are the canary in the coal mine. They are what died first. Absolutely. Like, in this whole culture fight where you see them in media, you see them in video games, movies, and all that stuff. It was like, no, comics were first. What happened was they all graduated from college with their brains just filled with all this propaganda. And they're like, where do I put it? Oh, comics are the easiest job to get in any industry. Let's just take that over and just riddle it with all of our garbage.
I kind of don't understand how they infested comic books first, though, because you think that would be niche enough that like they wouldn't even understand how to get into it, right? Like, if you think about all these like tourists that come in and all the women that try to like ruin everything, it's like, even with video games, I guess because the budgets are so big and it's becoming like its own Hollywood with gaming, it makes sense that it's going to attract all these like normies as well that ruin shit. But the comic book thing always felt so niche to me that I'm like, I don't even know how they snuck in there to begin with. Like, how did they notice?
For me, I always thought comics is a very good like first job. And so like I once upon a time looked into how do I become a video game writer, because that's what I wanted to do, was like, how do I write for video games. And I talked to a video game designer at a studio, and he's like, we don't hire a writer. What we do is we hire somebody in the field for what type of thing we're writing. So if we're writing a comic book style video game, even if it's about like a completely original character, but it has to flow like a comic book. We're going to hire a comic book writer. And then it's like, okay, how do you become a comic book writer? Oh, that's the start of it. Because kind of anybody can write a comic book. Doesn't mean it'll be good, but it's like a comic book is such a great medium because really anybody can do it. You're writing dialogue, and then you have an artist that makes your dialogue come to life. And it's wonderful.
Yeah,
it was absolutely wonderful. So it's a very easy first job out of college. And so they're all graduating right at the start, and they're like, we can take over Spider-Man. But they didn't start at Spider-Man, right? They would start at the lower echelons. They would make their own comics. They would do that.
They fail upwards, which is crazy because those runs they would have on those other unknown characters would not really do so well, and then they would just weirdly fail upwards. Hey, random insert motherfucker I've never heard of, you can write Spider-Man. Really? That should be like a prestige thing. You've really worked your ass off. Your runs have been really, well liked and criticized very well from a lot of the fans. Hey, you can do Batman. It should be an honor. You can do Batman. No, you can just do Batman because you just, I don't know, you randomly did like the question. Like, what the fuck? What are these qualifications anymore?
Your resume is big, therefore you got the job. But yeah, we see failing upwards everywhere. Like we just saw who was the woman that one of the writers from Dragon Age Inquisition is now working at CD Projekt Red, and it's like, don't you think she should be kind of banned from the industry for that writing? So,
God. Well, the new Witchers.
Yeah, that Looney Tune. A person was a Looney Tune.
Though that I don't know if this one was true or not, but I mean, who knows anymore? You don't know until
if it's a long hair blonde dude chick thing. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I remember. They were the head of that. They were the head of something with Dragon Age, and then they got a new job doing something else. I'm pretty sure it's a Looney Tune.
Probably. I mean, they almost always are.
So I know you asked what potentially happened. So I think I don't know if you guys remember. You probably do. Remember there was this like big push to like before DEI was actually in an acronym. People kind of knew it was basically just inclusivity. It felt like a lot of these big brands and businesses had this like mind-blowing epiphany that they weren't inclusive enough, so they started including people just off the basis of race. And the way I've always described it is people want like a diversity of like race when it always should be a diversity of like your skill sets and how good you are at the job. But a lot of people don't actually get this. A lot of diversity you see in a job, it's not just because maybe that person wasn't qualified or anything of that nature. That's just the reality of life. You're going to see more white people than any other race in a job because they just kind of outnumber people just by the sheer amount of people, right? That's a diversity of straight up outcome of life. That's nothing you can do, right? So if you hired more black people, you would still naturally see more white people probably at that same job or in a lot of other jobs. Just because you see a lot of black people at one job does not mean that, fucking hell, that specifically they wanted to make sure that enough black people work there. They probably thought, hey, why is there not enough black people working there? Well, there could be many reasons why not a lot of black people work there. Well, for one, they could simply just not be qualified enough, or simply they just weren't, good enough for the job. Maybe they don't want the job. A lot of people are saying some people just don't want those jobs. It's just that simple sometimes. It's so like this massive inclusivity thing that ended up happening with a lot of brands was so weird. It was like, hey, we want to make sure we have more black people working. Why? You're like, why? Yeah. What does having more black people even do? Like, when you really think about all this stuff, what does having more of this race do? Like, if you have more black women in your job, I'm honest, I'm about to have some red flags going off. Like, fuck, man.
Well, I mean,
a lot more yelling, that's for sure.
It's really related to what we were talking about, and this comes to what they're taught, in these colleges and these universities, and this has been going on since like the 1970s, if not earlier. It's crazy how far this goes back, but they leave with all the communist brainwashing and everything, and then they just start spreading it in the world. And the way that this happens is HR managers. Like, HR managers have just been a plague. If I'm speaking primarily about video games, like they're one of the core reasons that what we're seeing today. So you have an HR manager in there, and their job is pretty much to hit diversity quotas. And they go to HR camps and HR meetings and HR seminars to be like, how can we prop up black people? How can we do this? And we have too many white people. Let's change that. And it's like, why? Like, we just want the best content. We want the best video games. We want the best people here. Who cares if there's one black person or 100? And it's like, nope, we have to have the quotas. We have to hit all the diversity check marks and everything. So it's all HR managers just having a stranglehold on the industry. And if you're like a developer or somebody on the inside that talks out against it, it's technically not your job. Your job is to do your job. And if you do speak up against it, well, the HR manager is more than happy to take you out and fill in that quota. right? So it just has been going
It's a scary
on.
reality. It's like
It's
look at what's happened with video games and how many of these like veterans in the industry are being pushed out. And it's like
Mhm.
I have no shame whatsoever saying that the video game industry was entirely built off the backs of white people and the Japanese. I'm extremely grateful for both races for doing that. Thank you, because this is why I get to enjoy video games today.
Yeah.
So to see like the way that the industry disrespects especially white people now, and it's just like of course it gets into like the white guilt thing as well, and like people being
Mhm.
conditioned through the education system to be against white people, which is insane to me. And then on the other end, white people are trained to feel guilty for even being proud of their own race, the only race that can't be proud, which is just insane to me.
Yeah.
It's just a combination of all of these things. And then you look on the corporate end, they're just trying to find ways to push out to more demographics so they get more sales, right? So
Yeah.
you especially see it in the gender sense, where they go, okay,
Yes.
this industry is primarily males, so how do we make it more for women? Well, we add more women's stories, then we'll get
Mhm.
more sales that way. We add more women into the industry so they could write those stories to the women, and then it just keeps spiraling from
Yeah,
there and it
and that
gets
thing
more
you just touched
deceptive.
on, that was right there a huge nail in the coffin for a lot of these companies. At some point, they all because I don't think that people really understand how most of these companies work because they've never actually worked in any sort of business sense. I've actually talked to the CEO of my company. These guys are rich enough. They have data analysts, so they know what works and what doesn't. But
Mhm.
I think at some point they all had business meetings in various different points in time, obviously, where they went, hey, we have a bunch of men. So we've conquered men from the ages of 13 to 65. They're like, how do we get more women? We have no women. But what they fail to realize there is if your brand is more geared towards women, that's because that is the target demographic of your brand. So a
Mhm.
basic example of this is like a Walmart. Why are dinosaurs or like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys primarily in the boys section? I don't know if it's sectioned out by boys and girls anymore. I'm pretty sure it's all ages or
Oh
genders
yeah,
now
it's
and
I
all
don't
everything.
think they
mixed and
say it, but
bullshit
you can
now.
tell. One
Yeah,
aisle is
yeah.
pink.
One eye is
Yeah.
pink. Yeah, because like the thing is, every business, especially this is a very core, a common business. You should have a target demographic of who you're trying to hit. They'll pay the most money. If men are don't matter if you like them. That's how it works. Those are your customers. They pay the most money. They should be the ones catered to, right?
Yep.
I don't care if they're the biggest MAGA Trump supporters ever. If they're the ones paying the most money, buying your shit constantly, no matter how much shit you talk to them, no matter how much you secretly hate them, they pay the most money. And that's your demographic. That's your audience. So then if you try to go and get a demographic that is not primarily already buying, the uphill battle you have to go to get that to be a core demographic is already too late, because some of these windows for a lot of these properties and brands, it's too late to get a new audience. We're in a different kind of day and age where getting an audience in a brand is much more different than back in the day. You release some commercials, you make a good game, and a lot of people gravitate towards it. There's like these grassroots scenes that happen in video games. It doesn't happen like that anymore.
Mhm.
Like just generally most guys, this is where I fault men at. Most guys that run these businesses have to understand women are not going to be your target audience, not because they don't like it. Keep in mind, women have always liked this stuff. It's not about not liking it. They're just always going to be the minority because it's just this stuff is just kind of geared towards dudes. Why do most people think that most men play Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Magic? It's geared towards dudes. It just is. Even if it doesn't say it on the packaging, commercials, it is geared towards men. That's why guys in your friend groups will say, where's all the women at? Guys would say that in their groups a lot. You'd be like, where's the girls at? Yes, it's not geared towards women. That's why you see less of them. And women, when you have them in these kind of spaces, they kind of just like it just the way, from what I've noticed in my life. They just
Yep.
like it the way it is. They don't want it entirely changed to their perspective, because their perspective, they like what yours is already. So I feel like the massive problem is any of these guys that run these companies with all these new women that are in charge too. It's like women are not going to be the highest paying people for this stuff. They just aren't. I know there's stats recently show that more women are into like mobile gaming. That's mobile gaming. It's a
Yeah, it's
whole
Mobile
new
gaming,
mobile
market.
gaming.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole. So if women are that's fine. That would make sense if you made more female skewing mobile gaming experience for them. But the whole thing of like we have to get women, it's always a red flag. Why? First of all,
100%.
what is this purpose though? I always ask, why do you need more women though? Do you feel like you're doing something wrong by not having enough of them? Do you feel ashamed you have more men liking it than women? I generally don't know what is the logic and thought process behind I just need to have more women. I
lot
don't
of
get
it,
that.
yeah, a lot of it is just like
Mhm.
trying to. There's so many factors, but a lot of it is just being like, well, we have one gender. Why don't we try to conquer the other? Why don't we have both audiences?
I mean, it's the
But like,
same thing with taxes and stuff, right? Get the women into work as well, then you collect more taxes and
exactly,
stuff like that.
exactly.
So
Women
But like,
work? Oh shit. God damn
kind of,
I'm
it's
sorry.
crazy, right?
Yeah. But like going back to like why you're seeing like diversity everywhere as well, like that ties into the woman thing as well, because like these CEOs, like you said, they're prominently men, and then the media and everyone is telling them you need to get more women. So then they'll
Mhm.
hire they'll get the HR manager, they'll grow. HR managers are like massively always women, and what they do is women have this thing in their brain which is crazy. Men don't have this, where for them to identify with something, whether it's a fictional character or
Mhm.
whatever, they feel like it has to look like them. It has to resemble them. Whereas men don't have that problem. Like, we were talking about Goku. Meanwhile, I like Spawn. I like Blade. They don't look
Yeah.
anything like me apart from like maybe the teeth on
Well, you're
Blade.
not a black guy that has a
Wait,
sword?
shit. Oh my
Fuck.
God, I'm not. God, I wish I was. But like men growing up don't care. They're like, they want the good content, they want it to be cool, and they don't care like what race it is or anything. They can feel represented on the actions of the character, whereas women feel represented on the visual, on like looking
Mhm.
like that character. So they're primarily visual, whereas men are more about like the actual content that happens. So women then take that, they go into HR, and they take that knowledge, or that their perception with them in hiring. Well, we need to have everybody represented. We need all the races. And then in our games and in our media, we need all the races, so that, the little black girl feels represented because she sees Ariel as black, even though that was totally normal in the 90s, Ariel being white, and there was black kids that loved it, there was white kids that loved it. It didn't fucking matter. But this is like kind of the female mindset forcibly injected into media where it doesn't belong, and primarily in male spaces, when really they should have just stayed at Sex in the City. They should have stayed in their lane. Like you could have done all that stupid shit there, and
Yeah.
we would have been
It's a
fine.
I think it's a chip on the shoulder thing for a lot of women as well. Like they really want to feel included in everything and they see these industries kind of blowing up and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that." And then in order for them to be a part of it, they then have to change it. They can't just let it exist. And that's why you're seeing the extinction of male spaces essentially. And then you have the flip side of that where like men are of course naturally attracted to women, so then they tend to like kind of do things for women and when they start to like fall for them and stuff like that and it just keeps spiraling. So there is this aspect as well where like men are also engineered to do things for women and then the women are being manipulated by the media and the media manipulates them to be more controlling and kind of break that like traditional nuclear family type thing. And so it's just there's so many factors that get injected into it, but ultimately it's a very insidious takedown of our culture. And I don't see why people need to feel like they need to be represented in order to enjoy something. It really doesn't make sense to
It's
me.
because this wasn't a thing back in the day, like he had pointed out. Like
Yeah.
you could just watch the first Blade movie with Wesley Snipes. It's crazy. I never actually watched those movies. Crazy
Oh,
enough.
they're
No,
so good.
and
They're
I'm
so good.
black. Crazy, right? What?
It's your people. You have to watch it.
No. So like you could watch randomly. You stumble upon Dragon Ball Z.
Mhm.
From which movie came out first before Dragon Ball because they aired them backwards for some fucking reason on Toonami.
Right.
I saw Goku, liked him. Saw Krillin, liked him. Saw what happened to Raditz came out. I was like, what the fuck? There's a green guy here. That's fucking cool as hell. That's someone who's green. I never seen green people in my life. I didn't have to see myself in Goku to like the character. I don't
Yeah.
get why that's a thing. It's like I have to look like this character to like them. Like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
That is
No.
ridiculous. That is the ultimate pinnacle of straight up narcissism. You can't enjoy something unless you can insert yourself into the character. That is actually just how would you enjoy anything by that logic? I don't
Yeah.
get people. I
That
couldn't enjoy
is
anything.
the
I don't want to be on screen like that. I like fantasy. That's the point of fantasy. It's the point of element of having fun. It's not real. You're supposed to enjoy what you in theory can't be and see someone else do,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that goes back to like men liking video games and women complaining they're too sexy. Meanwhile, we're playing all the like jacked up guys that are like super ripped and
Yeah.
muscular, and it's like we ain't complaining. I don't want to look like me in a video game. Have you seen me? I don't want to have to stare at that all day. Oh my god. So yeah, no, it's crazy. It's the modern millennial female mindset injected in all of our media, where it's like you have to look exactly like the character to feel represented, or else you're not going to like the content. It's like that doesn't apply to us. Shut up! I'm telling you how to think because this is how I think. And if you question it, if you work there, you get fired and replaced. So it's wild, man. It's wild. So then the question is, what do we do about it? And so, and that's a whole nother thing. So I mean, I just say support the people that kind of buck the trend and go against the narrative and are making good quality content like we used to see in previous decades, because it's few and far between now, which is sad.
So I wanted to ask this too. What was the inspiration for the creation of your YouTube channel? If you just be content creators, were you inspired by somebody and you were like, okay, I can do this too? Then you had to do like learn the ropes like everyone else learns the ropes. What's the story about that?
That's such an interesting question. Well, I have always felt like James is extremely entertaining. That's my perspective personally, is that I think like he's
Little
super
bias there,
entertaining and
no
yeah,
bias.
of course, of course. Look, I'm his woman. I'm gonna
actually
say
hates
that
me.
regardless. No, I actually hate his guts. No,
That's true.
but the thing is like all of these conversations, you know, like the one we're having right now and the ones we do on our channel, we have them offline at night anyways, whether there's a camera on or not. Like we're gonna be having these conversations, yelling at each other over video games and mechanics and all that kind of thing. So we did kind of grow up in the sphere of like, you know, being in tune with YouTube. We were around, you know, for the Gamergate era. So we did see like all this stuff with Twitter and we were very heavily involved. And it just felt like a natural progression of us both being very passionate about video games. And you know, it was like, yeah, let's get in front of a camera and let's have fun with it. So there's definitely like different routes for us. For me, I grew up watching G4 and I was really into that. And James, I won't speak for you. You can obviously talk about the
No,
stuff
you're a
you
woman. You can
consumed
speak
it.
for me.
No,
That's totally
no,
fine.
but you had
She's
your,
a
you know,
person
you
of
had your
color.
different things.
She
Yeah.
And that you've got the double point on me.
Whoa,
I should be muted
what's
the whole
stupid
stream.
thing that people say? Oh, it's a woman talking. You must be silent, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
black woman. You got to be silent when they talk. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah,
What is
there
life
you go.
these days?
You need that on a mug, Kay. Every time I'm speaking, you just sip from the mug and stare at me. It's like,
Girls talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Ugh.
had our different, you know, things that we grew up watching as well. My big thing was I loved G4. I loved the dynamic of that. I love the like lightheartedness of gaming. And I also feel like the spaces where you can kind of just be pro free speech and enjoy video games and be able to clash with your opinions is also gone. So I wanted to kind of bring back that culture a little bit of like, hey, we have a channel where we just enjoy video games, shoot the shit, and you can say whatever you want, and we're not going to get like on your ass and like block you from being here just because you have an opinion that's contrary to ours or anything like that. And I felt like so many of these spaces, they just become like the conversation has to be catered to whatever that person running it wants it to be. So that was another big thing for us. But yeah, James, I don't know if you anything to add to that.
Oh no, but like we're totally on the same page with that. And yeah, what I love about our channel, and not to jerk ourselves off here or anything, but like we have kind of the same end goal, but we have different backgrounds and inspirations. So I didn't similar to like how we played video games differently. We consumed different media around video games. So you watched G4, I was watching Electric Playground. I was also watching, you know, Screw Attack side scrollers as it is now with Craig, and we were just watching, yeah, totally different content, but it ultimately had the same goal of like kind of video games, fun, entertainment, shooting the shit, and not going at things at such like a level that you have to censor it and shut down the conversation, but you can actually just talk and have fun and be funny. And that's what I always liked about video game conversations online, is like this fun sense that they have, and it seemed to have been lost over the years. Another big one I loved was the Co-optional podcast and Total Biscuit, and that kind of comes more on like the technical side of things. Like I will always say he'll always be, he sadly passed away if you don't know who Total Biscuit is now, but he'll always be like the best video game YouTuber ever, and just his level of integrity and his high caliber of all of his reviews and the podcast and how he like tackled everything was just masterful and brilliant. So yeah, we kind of mix all of these things together, all these ingredients, and we kind of pour it together, and that's what you have with Melee Games. And I just love, like we were talking earlier, it's like we played different games as well. And so one thing I love about Melee Games is that we kind of together cover all ends of the industry. And so like I play a lot of shooters, she doesn't. She'll play a lot of JRPGs. I never played JRPGs. And so like through the two of us, it's just you're seeing everything. You won't see everything through me, but you won't see everything through her either. And so we can kind of have that back and forth. And it leads to a lot of funny conversations and dialogue, like me saying that the best Zelda games are the Philips CDI games and stuff like that, which is, by the way, true. But yeah, that we have a lot of different inspirations and everything, and we kind of just mix them all together to create what we are, and it somewhat works. I think it's every
Yeah,
now and
maybe.
then.
I don't know.
I don't know. Does anyone watch us?
I don't think so. No.
Oh shit!
We're just yelling
Okay.
into a void.
We're all just clout
Oh.
chasers. That's how it works.
Oh god, I feel like I have dementia most days. Mm.
Oh god, man. So, what was it like kind of learning the ropes on how to actually do YouTube content? Because you primarily stream now, I think. That what
Yes,
you
we
do?
are. We're live streamers, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
It's of course a little bit of a learning curve trying to get all the technical down. I think because we've just been on the internet for so long, we are able to piece it together after a little bit. And it's never a journey that ends. Like there's always something that you need to fine tune. You discover something, you create a show, and you're like, oh, this show would work so much better if we do this instead. So it's like an ever evolving thing. But I think nowadays, because the conversation is much more open and a lot more people are doing it as well, it is
Mhm.
much easier to get into this space now than it used to be. I think it used to be a lot more manual. I know, like, there are people that made those kinds of channels before, like, this whole sphere was really a thing where it could really flourish, and they were
Mhm.
kind of pioneers to it. I feel now, if you're getting into it, you have a lot of support. You have a lot of people that have their different angles and things that they've tried. So it's actually a lot easier to find information, and make it possible. So I think we're very lucky in that way. We've been doing this channel for 3 years now,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's been very easy to lean on others, and I'm so thankful for it. If there's something weird technical or just ideas or whatever it might be, people are always willing to help. So I think that's really made it so we can move faster, and we're able to be where we are today.
So you've also, I remember seeing you collab with Hypnotic on you. Were you guys ever on Saturday Night Hypnosis? I think.
I was on, I think that was like last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So, no, I just randomly was talking to Hypnotic on Twitter, and then he asked me to be on, so I got to finally hang out with him, and it was a lot of fun. I actually
Mhm.
had a great time hanging out with them, and I know most of the panel as well. I've crossed over with them at times and
Yeah.
talked to them, so just an awesome group of people. It was a lot of fun.
So I think there was a video on your channel that I remember I saw. It was called "The Future of Gaming," like the state of the gaming industry, something like that.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah. That was a
so
podcast episode from a while ago, yeah.
Oh, was
yeah,
that
it was
madness? Yeah.
that was 9 months ago. That was like the beginning part of the year. Holy shit!
Oh
Oh
So
god.
my
a
god.
lot has happened since then as far as gaming goes. So I know you guys saw the games that got announced for Game of the Year.
Mhm.
Like the Game Awards. I feel like I don't know. Game Awards to me haven't really felt anything for a long time. It feels like
No.
it's so much more different than actual like gaming awards. Because I remember there was this one guy at the gaming awards, forget his name, white guy, was in San Francisco. He was like, "Man, fuck Elon Musk and fuck Doge and all this shit." I was
Oh,
like,
Joseph Fares?
"Yeah,
Fuck the Oscars?
Yeah.
yeah, fucking
Yeah.
hell." It feels
He's
like
great. But yeah.
feels like these gaming award shows now are just used as like vehicles for shitty people to just yell about how much they don't like rich people or like what, like I don't know what
But
they're
they're
for
rich
anymore.
themselves. Yeah. I
It's
don't know.
uh It's an
Yeah.
industry jerk off session, in my opinion, right?
Mhm.
You get these people that are already embedded in the industry, and they all get together and they all decide what they think is the best of the industry. And you can tell when they're having those conversations, it's people that they're shaking hands with in the back. It doesn't feel like they're always reflective of what the gaming community is actually playing, or that they're in tune with, the
Mhm.
indie part of the industry as well. So I always find with the Game Awards, especially in the past few years, it's been very much like what you're walking into, and you expect them to pick those things. At this point, you're like, yeah, whatever, and you kind of roll your eyes and you're like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go play this game that they will never mention because it's
Mhm.
too edgy for them, or it doesn't fit in the cookie cutter of like what their advertising needs to be. But the thing with the Game Awards too is it's really about, Jeff Keighley getting those world premieres in. He's getting all the marketing bucks, right? Like the amount of money he gets just
How
to
much he
host those
charges for
trailers.
those
Yeah,
is
it's
crazy.
that's what the Game Awards is about for them at this point. It's just an industry machine to keep people buying these games. Then Jeff Keighley gets the money in his pocket. Which
Yeah.
as somebody who watched G4, I've been familiar with Jeff Keighley for a long time because he actually was started there. So I've seen his very early career, and he's always been annoying to me. He's always been against like sexy stuff. I remember him with BMX Triple X being like, "Oh, it's the game with like the girls on bikes with titties," and just being super negative about it. So I've never liked Jeff Keighley, and when he took over the Game Awards is his creation, really.
Yeah, well,
After
it
Spike
started
TV, I
under
was like,
yes.
no.
Spike
Yeah,
TV.
Spike TV. It was Spike TV, and it was great for 3 years. I think it was 2 or
Yep.
3 years. Spike TV, and then Jeff Keighley took it over, and it was just like absolutely terrible. And it's become this industry grift, in my opinion.
It makes
I
a
just
great
don't care
drinking
for it.
game, though. It's so wonderful to be like,
does.
will he jerk off Kojima? Will Jeff Keighley cry today? Like, there's so many check boxes for a drinking game. But yeah, it has become a complete and total circle jerk of like 5 studios in the industry. I voted for it this year, and it's just like it's all the same game over and over and over and over again. I actually voted for Death Stranding in every possible category, even though I've never played it, just because I want to see Jeff Keighley cry on stage over Kojima again. I need to see that. So I want a Death Stranding sweep, and because I think that'd be really funny. But yeah, it's everybody knows it's it's so tiresome and it doesn't represent the industry. But it's got effectively a monopoly on what the awards are. It wants to be the Emmys or Academy Awards of video games, but they only recognize like 12 games when 200 games come out on Steam every day. And so it's always going to be frustrating and disappointing. They only look at like the top like 1% of games, if that. And you see that represented in frustrated gamers online, because it seems like there is so many competing game awards now. As Side Scrollers has the Real Game Awards, we have our own award show that's based on the games we played on the channel and games that came out this year, kind of a hybrid. And so it's just everybody is so frustrated with it that everyone's making their own award shows to say, fuck that.
Yeah.
We're going to do our own with blackjack and hookers. Okay. And you know what? Adam
Sounds
Sessler's
great.
probably more interested in that. So
Man, I still remember that Frost Curran meltdown she had. She straight up crashed out so hard. What's crazy is I know of Frost through League of Legends. I remember when she was coming up for just being a League of Legends commentator. And I remember she left the LEC, which is the European equivalent to like League of Legends, as a domestic league. And I remember I don't know if she ever revealed what happened, but I remember the guy that ran the LEC for League of Legends had this bomb tweet about Frost Curran, and it went like, if every place you keep leaving is, on fire, then maybe consider that you are the match.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That is
that was
her
boss. That was her boss, actually. And she apparently left for something that maybe he did. She never said what it was. She never said what happened because her contract was over that year. That's probably why she got the job at G4. But I remember she had a tweet where they announced the broadcast talent for that year. And she was like, this is blindingly white.
Oh,
I was like, God. Frost, gee, I wonder what else. What? I was like, what the fuck is going on? She literally.
Is she white or am I misremembering?
Yeah,
no,
that was
is.
a tweet. She retweeted the tweet from the LEC and they announced the broadcast talent. She was like, this is blindingly white.
That's, yeah.
She just literally. She's the problem too. Like, I'm not saying she didn't face any problems maybe in the gaming industry at some point, but it's like, people want best talent for the job, not based off your race. I just can't defend someone like that. Like, her League of Legends knowledge was great. Her on podcasts for League, she wasn't political in any way. I enjoyed listening to her. She was actually really smart about the game. So to see her rant off like that on G4, I was like, what is this? What? She's out here crashing out. And she made that famous line, if you don't like it, don't watch. Peace. That was a banger part because that is funny as fuck.
It's just insane to me. They should completely crash and burn the entire thing. But so is it like an emotional thing on her end, do you think? Or like, do you think she's doing it because she knows it'll like push her up in the, the political sphere, so to speak? Like, if I'm like a woman that
gave her a big break, like the originally Thorin gave her kind of a big break on his show. And then she even turned on him. I think a lot of these people do this. A lot of these people do this for virtue signaling points. Like they feel like this is where I think a lot of these people's opinions are, wherever the wind blows, that's what my opinion will be. And it doesn't matter if you've been my friend. It doesn't matter if in this case where she was propped up by white men on another show. And she turned on those people because, she felt like they were the bigots, actually. You feel like they were bigots before when you were on their show, when they were the one promoting you, when giving you a name on and showing and exposing your name to people. I hate people like that. At any point for social clout, you're just going to throw someone under the bus because you didn't like a tweet that day. That's why Twitter is so weird for me. Just on that one aspect. You can be friends with someone for a long time, but they might see you tweet something and they'll go, what the fuck, dude? I thought we were better than this. Like, dude, it's a fucking tweet. And if you've known that person, they'll go, you know what? I must disassociate with you over a tweet.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you
no,
might have known
I'm
that person
so
for
glad you
years.
said that. I'm so glad you said that because like we've experienced that too. It's so strange where it's like you'll tweet like we've been on Twitter for a very long time. And so for us, it's like, you shit post on Twitter. That's the fun of it. Whatever. You're just throwing out whatever's on your mind. And people will get so offended by it and will just like completely cut you off or not want to talk to you anymore because in passing they read something and then they just take it exactly for face value or interpret it in the way that they want to, and then they just make all these assumptions about you. And Twitter has really ruined like relations between people, in my opinion. Like people cannot communicate anymore because of the internet, and then on top of that they just see this stuff in text form and it just causes complete crash outs, and they end up in this own fantasy spiral of whatever they think the story is, and that's it, and there's no other
Yeah.
reality to them,
Even
and
though
they're
you've
just done.
even though you've potentially been on shows with these people and
Yeah.
actually talked to them, they'll be like, man, on Tuesday at, God forbid, 12 p.m. when you had a lunch break at work, you tweeted you didn't like pancakes. And I'm a waffle enthusiast, but waffle lives matters. And you've pretty much said to me, you dislike everything about me, everything I stand for because you like pancake. What the fuck? I'm sort of going like, bro, I am just tweeting on my lunch break because I'm just like shit posting essentially. Whatever happens to this, I just don't get it with people. That's how you can tell someone's fake. If they literally just like, hey, I'm ready. I'm just not going to be friends with you because you said some tweets. I've talked to you. What's the deal here? Like, I just can't. I can't stand people like that. It actually irks me so bad. Especially when
Or
you
like have a
actually have
conversation.
conversation. You could
Yeah.
DM. You could just DM. It's like DMs aren't open, But I know James ignores me, so it's okay. It's okay, man.
I didn't want to bring this up. I didn't, I may have been stood up on a date or two from him, and I wasn't really happy about it. So it's okay.
Here, I'll let you use this for the show. I'll actually send you this tweet. This was the one he had about Froskurin. Shower thought for the day. If everywhere you go, things are on fire, consider that you may be the match.
That is fucking brilliant.
Incredible.
Yeah, I had no idea that she was normal before losing it on G4 because I always wondered how did she get the job for G4? Because G4 would have only succeeded if it was pretty much exactly what it used to be and
Because she
captured that
went from it
essence.
after this. So this was the tweet. I remember I saw her because it was in 2020. It was like 2023. So she would be on G4 for a little bit there because her contract ended with this. So she signed with G4 because
Right.
She said, I've been angry for a long time with my peers for not using their power and voice to stand up for others in the industry. Had to come with some hard terms that people who I'd known for years, who thought were good friends, just weren't, devastated me for a long time. And we know the one. She said she was leaving the esports industry and working off of some bullshit. But this is the thing is, even she realized people in that kind of industry that are a bunch of dumb, stupid libtards are just fake virtue signaling people. Like yesterday, another League of Legends guy said he doesn't like Elon Musk, and he said, if you like Elon Musk, you need to unfollow me. While not consciously realizing you don't like this guy, and you're on his social media platform tweeting and making money about how much you don't like this guy.
Yeah.
He literally said nobody should have access to that amount of wealth. And I'm starting to think to myself, this is why these people are actually fucking. As this guy literally worked for Riot Games, a company that is now considered a $1 billion company, took money from the Saudi government. EWC is Saudi funded. They quite literally actually kill gay people, like quite literally, and cut off women's hands. Actually, Saudi Arabia extradited a Arab journalist from this country back to their country and cut off her hand because she talked bad about them. And Riot took money from these people willingly.
Yeah, the video game industry is propped up and it's just held up by all these hypocrites and all these people that will say one thing but they take money with the other. Absolutely, we're going to be seeing a lot of that now that EA is the deal through that EA is owned by a Saudi prince. I'm not sure if that okay. So
Warner
that's going to be really
might be owned by Saudis if the whole Paramount thing goes through.
The Warner Brothers thing is fucking insane. So it's really they're gonna have to have a good long conversation with themselves because they're not practicing what they're preaching. Absolutely. And yeah, it is quite funny to see all these people constantly screaming about Elon Musk when they're on Twitter. I mean, I still call it Twitter, but under Elon Musk, it's
I always
X.
call it Twitter. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm never calling that shit X.
Yeah, I hate
Here,
the name
maybe
X.
you can go over this in a live stream because this is so beyond cringe. This good lord, this is disgusting. So also, if you read this and your first instinct is to defend Elon, please unfollow me. I have always hated and will always hate billionaires as he uses the billionaires platform to make money. But he also worked for Riot Games, another $1 billion company. Okay. casted LCK League of Legends. Faker, who's the esports League of Legends Michael Jordan, is quite literally a multi-millionaire going off Korean currency. He literally just plays League and just doesn't spend any money. He just lives at home. So fucking base shit right there. And you should too. Their existence is a failure of us as a species. No one should possess that level of wealth. First, let's point out, nobody gets jobs from poor people. Just pointing it out there. No poor person ever gives someone a job. Just pointing it out there. Also, by this logic, Chronicler, do you hate the League of Legends players in Korea who are millionaires based off their contracts? You must hate them.
That's what keeps Riot in business, as like all the whales, all the people that spend thousands and thousands of dollars, because it's just like nothing to them, and that's why League of Legends is the success that it is.
Like Elon Musk, like people, I'm not a fan of the guy, but it's like he has Tesla. He made his name actually off of selling most of his money. He sold PayPal. I think he owned PayPal or so at some point, and sold most of his stocks in eBay. Like, I don't get, like, if someone works hard for their money and is a billionaire because of it, that's good.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
It boils down to just jealousy. So they just are jealous of this. Yeah. And so, yeah, their cope is that, billionaires shouldn't exist. And it's like, would they be saying that if they're a billionaire? They'd probably still say it if they're a millionaire, because wasn't it like Billie Eilish or whatever was recently saying that billionaires are evil people? And it's like, aren't you like very close?
She's super rich as well. She's probably going to donate half her money so she doesn't become a billionaire. Wasn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, like you have a quota or something. You have a cap. It's like, I'm evil as soon as I become a billionaire, so I have to stay at a 999 millionaire right here. And then I'm no longer evil.
The market decides at the end of the day. I want people to create, and if they're making lots of money from that, great. I'm happy for them. Like, keep doing it,
Oh my god, this guy literally is so retarded. Oh my god, it's worse. I didn't read this last time, but this is so much worse. Make this a little bigger. I truly do not care. No individual needs that much money. Imagine society if everything past 20 million just got funneled back into things like Social Security, green initiatives, basic infrastructure, or a million better things than some dickhead's fourth yacht. If he's rich enough to buy a fucking yacht, he can just do that.
Yeah.
This feels like a personal attack against Gabe Newell right here, because he just bought his new super yacht. Okay.
It's so crazy that, it's crazy. People, two things can be true. I can give money to people, but I also can buy my own shit. If I'm that rich, why can't I have another yacht? If everything's taken care of, why can't I have some fun? Why can't I have a girl sit on my face when I eat her out, and then another girl blow me? Why can't I have these things? You know what I mean?
And really, you're doing the girls a favor in that context. So, like, you're a good person as a billionaire, really. So, yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It all goes back to the dogma that they're brainwashed with. And so they're just taught that money is bad and everybody should be equal in terms of money. It doesn't make any sense on how to get to that standpoint. And every time it's been tried and practiced, everybody dies of starvation or death or murder. People die of death. That happens. But they never think that through.
What a name. If all your money gets stolen, why would you bother making it? That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even though these people are comfortably taking money from billion-dollar corporations, but nothing's wrong with that. Mm-hmm. It's only when another billionaire does this. That's when I got the problem. It's like, oh my God. These people actually should have think these people have liquid cash on them. Oh, do they have to learn?
Exactly. Holy they don't understand how it works to begin with and how people like move their money around. It's not so simple.
If Mr. Beast has $1 million in his wallet, you are legit retarded. I actually genuinely hope you literally walk off a fucking bridge.
Mr. Beast walking around like an Elder Scrolls character, just holding everything in him. He's like, I also have my 60 cheese wheels here next to $1 million.
Mr. Beast is such a weird one because he just continually invests all his money into his videos. So it's like, careful, bro. Like I don't know if I believe
infinite money wheel
take anything out, but it's like, are you really investing everything that you earn into that? Because eventually you're going to screw yourself over if something doesn't you keep escalating the ideas, and then you can crash eventually, and then you're screwed.
His food business, doesn't he have the burger joints that he had?
Yeah, so he had Beast Burger, and they actually shut that down because there was so many problems with all the food.
Never.
There was actually one around us. We ordered it once, and it was just like a ghost kitchen type thing where they would hire like local people to do stuff. So the quality was always really bad. So yeah, he got into some trouble with that, and he shut that down. And apparently his chocolate tastes awful, I've heard.
We've never tried that. Yeah.
Never try a white man's chocolate. That's
never
crazy.
try the white man's chocolate. Only if it's from a van, then I'll be tempted. But otherwise, never try it.
I just don't get this mindset with people. If someone that's why communism and socialism can't really work on a fundamental level. The whole utopia thing they want, it just can't. It punishes people who works harder and rewards people for work less. From just that base fundamental, it can never work because if someone will always feel like they deserve more than you if they worked harder than you. That's just a base human instinctual thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like for homeless people, I'll give a homeless person money if I look at them and I go, okay, could you have made your life a little bit better? So like, if it's a young person like us, I'm not giving you money. Literally go work for it. But if it's like an older guy and it's like a little bit different, that's a little bit different. If it's an able-bodied person, I'm not giving you shit. What the fuck? No one gives me anything. I gotta work for everything I got. You know? So fuck all that. God, I hate people.
I just give homeless people copies of Bubsy on the Genesis just to be
Good
like, you
Lord.
don't know what this could be worth one day. It's an investment. So you can't use it for drugs. No drug dealers will take copies of Bubsy. But if they hold on to it and they sell at the right time on eBay, oh, they're swimming in money, baby.
And keep in mind, you're the bad guy because you call that shit out. I love how if you work and you do the right thing and you go, hey, I don't want to support that, then you're the bad guy, not the person that doesn't do anything. No. They're the sweet angel that's just down on their luck.
Yeah,
they can't do no wrong.
If you try to understand their ideology, it'll drive you nuts, man. It's like it makes no sense, and they just talk in circles. Nothing connects, and
no accountability. There's no accountability. It's like it's always someone else's fault. You know, guys, in life, I'll just give people basic advice here. If you always live life off of if it was always someone else's fault, you will literally never improve. Yeah, some things are someone else's fault. That is true, but most things are your fault. And it was a saying back in video games, back in the day, get good. Yeah, just get good and stop being shit. Fucking hell. Like, god damn, people are, man, my
I'm gonna start saying that to homeless people. Get good. And then dab.
Dab them as they're doing crack on the
Fortnite
street.
dance in front of them. I'm gonna get stabbed later, probably.
Oh god, man. So given the fact, I mean, I don't think the PS5 is going to be out of cycle anytime soon. How do you guys feel about the PS5 so far? Now that we've had it for about a good 5 years.
Oh my god! I mean, gaming. I get a lot of hate on Twitter because I shit on everything, and so I literally one of my favorite tweets was someone calling me a Sony pony, and then another person calling me an Xbox fanboy, like back to back, and I'm like, I made it. I shit on everything, but yeah, it's I mean, PlayStation's gonna always make money. They're gonna keep making money. They have a loyal, diehard fan base. I mean, I don't want to speak for Kay, but we were pretty against the PS5 Pro and the PS5 Portal, saying that they are wastes of money. Do not get them, and people still get them.
The Pro is such a waste of money. It's like pretty much double the cost, at least in Canada, and it's supposed to make things like way better, and it's marginally better at best, and sometimes even worse. There's games that have worse performance.
Yeah,
it's a completely
crazy.
pointless investment, in my opinion, unless you've got like this insane setup and you have the money to throw at it. Sure, but you get the same experience from the standard model. It's pointless. And the Portal, I have no idea how it is, but it looked really gimmicky and stupid to me. I don't know.
So that Portal thing. So from everything I've read about it, you can't really take it anywhere. You have to play it pretty much in proximity in your house. Actually, it's got to be next to like the PlayStation 5. Like, what the fuck?
It streams to the device there, which that alone, it's like input lag would drive me crazy. Maybe it's fine for like Telltale games or Dispatch or something, but like, oh my god, for any can imagine playing a fighter on it, I would go absolutely insane. But like my complaints about PlayStation are a lot of my complaints about Xbox as well. I do think PlayStation is doing a hell of a lot better than Xbox lately, but I still have a lot of complaints about PlayStation, and it boils down to that there isn't a lot of reasons to own it because no console, with the exception of Nintendo, has exclusives anymore. And so why would I buy your system? Why would I invest in your hardware that is constantly going up in price, not down in price, which is unprecedented in the industry? Why would I do that when I could just play on PC and I get all the games anyway? It's already been leaked that Death Stranding 2, that's the next game to be ported. So what games are exclusive on the PS5? And you do have Astrobot, which I do think is fucking awesome. That was our game of the year last year. Great game, but I can't say it's worth buying a console at that price when the price keeps going up for one game. And so I think PlayStation is in a good position with its fan base. I think its fan base will always support PlayStation and they'll keep making money. And there's kind of a sense of PlayStation can do no wrong, especially with all the controversies that Xbox have been getting into lately. In my opinion, the second console war was Xbox versus PlayStation, and Xbox lost as soon as we saw that trailer for Halo campaign evolved on PlayStation. I was like, all right, Xbox has been losing for a long time, but that is the final nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Xbox fanboy between 2001 to 2008. That was like the last time I was a fanboy of a console was Xbox. So yeah, I mean, PlayStation specifically, I think they need more exclusives. They need to hold on to more exclusives. They need to also get back to making games that are, yeah, very true. They need
It's
to
like, it's like the whole government shutdown thing. It's like, was it ever running? It's shut down. Shit,
No.
I didn't know if that shit was even running. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're very obsessed with making emotional Last of Us story cry games, and it's like you need to get away from those or shrink those down and prop up real games. Like I was seeing somebody say, what the fuck happened to God of War? They haven't even ported or remastered or anything the original God of War trilogy, which are actual games, and they're not just, you know, these weird narrative experiences where, you know, you're playing less and less of a game. So I don't know, it's tough because I have critiques of PlayStation, but I think they're gonna make money hand over fist regardless. Man,
Ooh,
that's me.
what about Gay Pass? That's all Xbox seems to have now is Gay Pass.
That's all it is.
Oh my
It's not Xbox
God.
anymore. It's just Game Pass, and the
It's
price
just-
goes up and up and up and up and up.
I
It's,
finally got off it. I was on Game Pass for a while because it did make sense. I was getting all of these games, and sometimes I just want to try a game
Yeah.
for a little bit, see if I like it. Like I kind of use it as a substitute for renting. You know, I used to love going to Blockbuster and everything. So I'm like, this is kind of the modern equivalent for me. It's my Netflix for video games. I'll do it. And every time they'd price increase, I'm like, okay, this is less worth it, but it still have the value because of the amount of games I'm playing each month. I'm still getting more than what I'm paying for. And this last increase, I was like, no, you're not putting enough on this service that it's worth it. I'm just going to quit and I'm going to just buy all these games outright instead. And I probably will save money this way. So it's a shame because I really did like the concept of being able to use it like a rental service in a way. But it's never been something that's healthy for the industry. It's never been sustainable. And it's going to continue to
I remember
destroy
when
launches.
GameFly was a thing. I remember when,
Yeah.
like, that's
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
I was surprised GameFly is still a thing. GameFly is still a thing.
What?
It's basically Blockbuster for video games still, renting games
Yeah.
and sending them back. That shit has to have
Oh.
cum stains on them shits. I know they don't reuse
Ooh.
those. Oof, God.
Don't
These
rent
people
any Dead or Alive games, everybody. You know what you're getting. Oh,
Don't
dear
rent
God.
Last of Us because these people are insane. I don't know what they put on the
God.
disc.
Abby, no. Oh God.
Oh, hey, PlayStation! Just every year at some point there will be a remaster of The Last of Us.
There's like 10 of them at this point.
I
It's
know. I
crazy.
can't even keep up anymore with
I get it; it's sold very well. I understand, but the remastering of it is getting insane. Next year, I guarantee it's going to be remastered again. 2026 edition. What's different with this one? Nothing. It's
The
just
thing is-
graphics updated.
They get away with it though, right? Like they sell.
They do. They absolutely
That's-
do get away with it. It does
It's
sell.
retarded, but they make money.
It's really strange to me because I don't really think anything PS3 and up even needs a remaster.
No.
So the fact that we're getting PS4 games on the PS5 that'll end up on the PS6, like we're at a point where the industry is very stagnant graphically. Like there's minor tweaks that happen, but overall they need to inject the creativity back in the games and make things more wacky again. This realism thing, it's already hit its wall in my opinion. You get
PS5
to any
Pro.
further,
Oof.
yeah, it's like it's such a marginal difference. Like there's nothing there. So I want to see more actual innovation, like create something new. And it shouldn't even be something that we're able to think of. This is their job to innovate and create something so cool in the next generation that we're like, holy crap, they made something brand new. And we never would have even thought this could exist. And there's just nothing like that in the industry anymore. Like Nintendo kind of does that. But even now, it's like you kind of just did motion controls too with the Switch 2. You're not really pushing it that far. So it really feels like we need to bring like, you know, more veteran eyes into the industry that actually like understand how to make gaming better and consoles better. And this whole like homogenizing everything and making it so that everything just plays on everything, it really kills that innovation. There's no reason to make hardware that does something new and interesting. So therefore, everything is just going to feel flat because it has to go on everything. The industry is not in a good place. Even though there's a lot of great things to play, it's still like There's
Did you guys
no
play
point to
Expedition
anything.
33? I keep hearing good things about that game.
I played
Yes.
it. How do we explain this?
It's
So you thought it was
entertaining.
overrated?
No, well, so this is what I love about our channel is that there's games I play and there's games that Kay plays. And I do not play turn-based games or games that are their whole purpose is to make you sad and cry. And we have this rule on our channel where if you tip $100, we get a stream at the end of the month of whatever you want.
Mhm.
And so we had a $100 tip, and the person, thank you so much, said, I have to play Expedition 33. And even though it's considered the game of the year, he knew how I would react to it. And boy, did I. And it was me just prancing around and being confused why I should be sad about my girlfriend who I just met. And, well, I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't played it. I assume you have, but yeah, it's a very emotionally charged game. But if you can't take emotionally charged games seriously and you're an asshole like me, it's an incredibly funny game. And I'm just not a turn-based game guy. But you can vote for it in our awards show for Game of the Year because it did get played on our channel by me horribly. So it is nominated.
This is like an ongoing yelling match between me and him because I love those kinds of games and I think it's a good game. But I'm also not the person who's gonna like actually get upset if somebody doesn't like something or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. I know it's not his style of game. He would never go out of his way to play it. It's something that just kind of happened naturally on our channel. But he makes fun of it. And I'm like, no, the storytelling's actually really good. But it's like it's hard to. It's so French and pretentious at the same time. As much as I love it, that it's just really difficult to like sit there and take it seriously, especially when you're hanging out with people. You want to just like kind of laugh at it. You can't help it. To me, it's like one of those games you kind of have to play alone, offline, if you really want to be in your emotions about it. But it's such a like feminine game in its DNA with the storytelling.
This is where I lose it in my head. So they had this nomination for the Game Awards, Best Adaptation, Minecraft, Devil May Cry.
Oh, this made me
my
mad,
God,
man.
I know.
You didn't have Sonic 3. Why didn't Sonic 3?
And you know what? It's not even just Sonic 3. I'm a big Twisted Metal fan, and Twisted Metal Season 1 and 2 is pretty fucking good if you're a Twisted Metal fan, and Season 2 falls into the category as well. And so it's like, why not that? And you have just this absolute slop. But yeah, Sonic 3, like, hey, you're a huge Sonic fan. This would have, I was with
so
you.
She's not a furry?
Actually, well,
somehow
I'm not allowed to talk about it, but
that.
we don't show her tail on camera because she gets very shy about it. But,
I don't show my wife's tail either, honestly.
No.
She just shows it to 6 other black men at night.
Oh, what? Oh, no. Oh, dear God.
Yeah, she gets kind of ran through. I hear her just praying to Jesus. God,
is there a white man in the closet watching as well? Like, is this a party?
It's like the episode of Family Guy where he gets almost raped by that like steam coming out of the pie. It's making me watch.
No. See, this should be adapted into a movie. Then that would end up as best adaptation.
Yeah, I'd be way more for that.
Of me watching my wife from the closet.
Lab says, well, you definitely need to upgrade hardware to play newer games well. At least with the console, you can play all of the game that came out of that console. Problem is, depending on the console you buy.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be upgrades. We're entering a weird thing in the industry now where RAM is outpricing the industry. It's absolutely crazy that we're on the cusp of yet another Xbox price hike, and that is a price hike for a system that has no fucking games. It has nothing. It's just a box, and it's going to be charging even more. It's just a Game Pass box. So, this is why I personally am very excited and hopeful and I have my fingers crossed for the Steam machine. I really think if it plays its cards right and if it's priced correctly, it can really kind of shake up and shatter the industry. But everybody's kind of waiting with bated breath.
That Alloy GX thing that they were making.
Oh, the ROG Ally, for Xbox. Yeah, that is out. Yeah,
that came out.
Yeah. It kind of just fizzled out, though, honestly. Like, not a lot of people seem to be latching onto it.
I think, again, the price, it was way too expensive.
Isn't it like $1,000 for like the good one?
Must be something close
I
to
think
that.
maybe
I don't
even
know
more.
offhand.
Yeah, I'm not sure offhand, and we're in Canada, so everything
Oh,
costs a
everything
mortgage
costs-
here.
Right, yeah.
So, but the thing about the ROG Ally X is that the
Mhm.
ROG Ally was already out, so you could already get it, but without the Xbox Game Pass branding.
Mhm.
So that kind of made it weird. It actually kind of reminded me of the issues that Steam encountered with the first set of Steam machines, which were about 10 years ago now, the Steam Box, where they had different iterations and you could choose which one you wanted. And it was like, this is pretty much just a PC. So you really have to, like, if you want to break into the market and kind of crash the industry with no survivors, you really have to have a clear, concise message. And the ROG Ally X did not have a clear, concise message. In fact, Xbox hasn't had that since the Xbox One, and they keep running into problems. They just have their naming and terminology down so poorly.
Dude, it is $1,000. It's
Yeah.
$1,000 for this thing.
Oh my god.
This thing better open up and start blowing me if I'm paying $1,000 for it. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, we use our Steam Deck a lot. We love our Steam Deck, and it's just so customizable. You can do really anything in it. Is it as powerful as an ROG Ally X? Absolutely not. But I think people kind of just trust Steam and trust Valve more, that they can kind of have more fun with it. And Xbox as a brand doesn't have a lot of trust or good faith anymore, and it's just really sad to see. So, like Kay said, it pretty much fizzled out. It's the most powerful portable PC that you can get, but nobody really cares or wants it. I haven't met
sad.
anybody that has it. So
What about the Switch 2? You guys have that?
yeah, we got
do,
one for launch. We did
unfortunately.
a launch. I like it more than her, but I'm not a huge fan, but I've pretty much beat every major game on it so far. And Kay, you haven't beaten one. Like you're just so disappointed.
Oh, wow.
It's
Goddamn.
fucking okay. Like honestly, Donkey Kong Bonanza is kind of dog shit in my opinion. The performance is so
disagree on
fucking
this.
bad.
I don't
Like
disagree
it's
on
so
that.
bad. It's
Yeah.
it's honestly awful.
I
So
think everyone's just waiting for Pokemon and Smash, honestly.
Well,
for that.
Pokemon
and
came
the
out.
thing is, we do have
came out, you're right,
Pokemon,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've heard it's rough as well. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm hearing mixed. I'm hearing there are some people that like it, but overall, it's a disappointment.
My TLDR on the Switch 2 as it stands is a lot of the games are good. They're good games, but they're not holy shit amazing games. And when you look at the price of what games are and the price of the Switch 2, it's just not worth it. So she hates Donkey Kong. I think it was good, but there's a lot of people saying it's, the greatest game of all time ever. And it's like, no.
No.
It's
It
the
slows
greatest game
down.
of all time.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it literally will like almost halt to a stop during boss fights because of how
It's
bad
rough,
the performance is. To me, that is like you shouldn't even release that game at that point.
People are waiting for. Yeah, this is the thing is like people are waiting
Pokemon's for the game.
Okay, Pokemon is for legitimate like top G Riz masters like me, obviously. But the thing is that's actually true because for the Switch when it came out, there wasn't really that many big games for it outside of like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. And that Kirby game, they came out a few months. Did that Kirby game ever come out?
It just came out.
It just came out. Yeah, it's like, but who's like Kirby? I like Kirby. I like the little fucking guy. But like,
love Kirby.
Hell yeah.
who is looking forward to buying Kirby games? Like, you, damn.
So
man.
we haven't played it yet,
Air
but Kirby
Riders,
Air
I'm so
Riders.
excited.
Apparently, Air Riders is great, and people are
Yeah.
saying it's better than Mario Kart. A big issue with the Switch 2 is that Mario Kart, as it stands, is underwhelming. I think it'll grow into a good game once it gets like a
I
million
like
DLC.
I think it's the best game.
We're
right now on
so
the system.
swapped on this because this is the one thing you defend on the Switch 2 is Mario Kart, and then I'm like,
okay,
this
look,
is the underwhelming
there's
one.
the single player mode where you can just roam around, and
That
I
has
swear
nothing in it.
It's so relaxing though. You ever just want to be alone with your thoughts for
You're
like 10 minutes? You can just
Yes,
drive
sir.
around and
You
look at
can
like
just
beautiful
turn off
things.
the lights, and it's free.
I know I can stare at a wall, but why not play the system at the same
Why
time?
not
Turn
spend
off the lights, you
$100?
can only see my teeth. Like, come on, let's stop doing this here. What are we doing here? Fucking hell, man. But like when the Switch 2 was announced and everything, people went ballistic. And my
It
general
sold well.
and my general opinion of it was like this. Because people say, "Oh, I can't afford it." Well, okay, so two things. First of all, you save up. You should like if you kind of knew it was because it was announced it was coming out for a long time.
Yep.
You could first of all, save up for it, right? That could be a thing.
Mhm.
Also, this is not food. You don't need to get it immediately. That's just what it is. You know, I just really didn't get the controversy around. It felt like people just kind of made like a mountain out of a molehill. It wasn't really that bad, honestly. I was like, hey, if you don't like it, that's fine. But like, the amount of like negativity that kind of followed it was kind of stupid.
There's a
You know?
problem. I mean, you have touched on this wonderfully in this show. There's a
Because
problem
I'm
on the
actually a
internet.
genius. That's how it works.
I'm wanting that extra day. I want that third date, sir. That's why I'm rizzing you up here. There's a problem on the internet where everybody has to talk in absolutes. Something is absolutely incredible or it's downright terrible. And the Switch
Yeah.
2 is neither. It has decent games. It's got decent to good games, but it is kind of too pricey for what it's asking for. Maybe in 2 to 3 years, once it builds out the library and I can point out some of those killer apps, then I can say, okay, but I've been enjoying it. But if anyone asks me, I'm like, no, do not get it. It is not worth it right now. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to make it worth it. So wait until maybe next December, next Christmas. Now it's different if you have a kid or something, you know, that would make a good Christmas gift, of course.
Yeah.
But like if you're buying it for yourself just to play like the next generation of Nintendo games, it will be worth it. It's just not right now.
And
but people, that doesn't fit in a tweet though, right? So that's the problem.
And if someone did, I'll tell people if they actually genuinely wanted it, what's the actual issue with them buying it though? I never really got the criticism. It's not the criticism. I understood the basis of it, but it was like, hey, why would anyone go out and spend their money on something they like? God forbid. I don't know why. What kind of logic are we even using with things anymore? Why would I take my hard-earned money and spend it on something that I want? What kind of conversations are we even having anymore? That's retarded.
No, I
That's legit stupid.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of heat towards us, nothing like major, but just kind of like, really, you're buying that system? And it's like, yeah, I mean, we're both passionate about video games.
I'm not broke like you. I'm on an EBT. EBT don't pay for Switch 2s, you know?
Well, no, it was weird because we were buying it, but we were also saying we're buying it because we're a video game channel. We are
like,
buying
we're
it
interested
to
in like
review
exploring the tech. We want to know like what's going on in the industry.
People,
so
we bought it and said to people, don't buy it.
we said
right?
literally don't buy it. Like for us, it's like $130 a game after everything's said and done.
Yeah.
Which is like that's not worth it in my opinion. But like, how do you measure that for someone else? Like some people value, time over money or money over time, and it's like all subjective to whatever fits their lifestyle. So some people are fine spending that because they're like, oh, I'm going to get like 80 hours out of this game and I'm happy and whatever. And then other people are like, no, I'd rather get an indie game that's $20 that, I can play for a few hours and it's good. So
you
can't really measure that for other people.
Happened with it. It was like, would you rather buy a Steam Deck or a Switch 2? And it's like, just preferences not playing to that. Yes, one could be objectively better. But average people, like the general average person, when they go to Walmart and they want to get it, they're just going to buy it. They're not going to think about all these stupid intricacies that people like us are going to talk on these shows. They just don't. If you have enough money and you want it, you're just going to go buy it. That's why I knew it would sell well. The average person, even if they might know that it's not as good or worth it, I value this. I value that if you buy something like that now and you get 10 years worth of good, great experiences in gaming with it, I feel like that's worth it in my opinion.
I think this conversation is going to also radically change next year. And when GTA finally comes out and what that decides the price is for video games going forward, that is going to completely shake up the industry. That's going to completely shake up everything that we're discussing. Like if they somehow make GTA cheaper than Switch games, which would be a fucking miracle, like that would absolutely destroy Nintendo's reputation. No. GTA is in a position now, and a lot of mainstream developers are pushing this, where they want, like a lot of developers want Rockstar to price this astronomically high so that they have the excuse to price their games at that same level. So it's really, I actually don't really care about the next GTA at all, GTA 6, but I am very curious to see kind of the fallout of it and what it's going to look like and what that price is going to look like, because that is going to impact every major AAA game going forward. So this time next year, we're going to have this exact same conversation, but it's going to be very different. And Switch is going to look cheap. It's going to look cheap in comparison, I think.
It's going to keep getting delayed, though. I think they're going to wait for PS6. That's what I'm feeling, because they just keep pushing it back further and further. I think PS6 is within reach. The PS5 cycle is over, and so they are going to probably try to push.
But
PS6.
Rockstar knows that they will have their audience double dip. So why not do what they did with GTA 5 and put it on 3 generations? And so
they probably will. They'll probably do it like right at the end of like, okay, PS6 is about to release. We'll do it on PS5 as well. Like I think that's how it's going to be.
So that people buy 2 copies. Because Rockstar is smart when it comes to making money. So they're
don't believe this propaganda. This guy's a politician. He spouts propaganda.
Wait.
Hey, we talk about this stuff on our channel too. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I
talk about horse porn. Let's go.
Oh my god! You know what's funny is
I'm not even into horse porn. That's the crazy part.
What's funny is I am into horse games, and a game just got banned on Steam where you're a horse and you ride people around that are naked and they're the horses, and it just got banned on Steam before it even came out. And I'm like, what the fuck? I need this game.
Did
So
you play
fuck
I
you,
Shower with my dad?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Day
yeah.
one,
That game-
baby.
That
We
game was
have-
fun.
God, man.
I play all the fucked up games. I really love on our
Uh.
channel having people come in and be like, "Hi, James, what the fuck am I looking at?" And it's my favorite thing. I
It happens
absolutely
very
love doing.
often.
Yeah.
Well-
We've streamed mouth washing, if you know what that is, and
Good
that
Lord.
is it is a wonderful,
I don't get the
wonderful game.
games where people want to do everyday normal shit. Like there was a game recently came out that was a simulator where you could just be like a person that checks out items at a grocery store. Why would anyone?
Oh.
I'm not criticizing people's way of gaming, but I think gaming should be something that is really fantastical and crazy. I don't want to game and do regular life shit. But
I can agree with you, but did you see the game that got announced recently at the Xbox Partner Showcase where it's literally
one?
that game? It's
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
do you
yeah.
remember the name? And you are
Fuck.
running
Oh my
a
God,
supermarket, but you're an alien and you're pretending to be a human.
Yes.
And so
Oh
you're
my
just giving
God.
people their apples and bread and
Mars
everything, but you're
attacks.
secretly an alien. I'm like, peek. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
Also, let's be honest here, fisting is way better than watching horse porn anyway, but that's a different discussion for another day,
You could
actually.
do both. You could fist while watching horse porn. Why not both?
What are you, black? So,
In spirit.
I remember people just unfollowed me over tweets about the Switch 2. I'm like, that is cringe.
Yeah,
if you
man.
unfollow people
Yeah.
over tweets about a subjective matter on what the price of a console should be. Because I think the argument was like, it shouldn't cost this much. But then you start discovering all these weird, like, communistic, socialist points people bring up. It's like, if Nintendo looks at PlayStation and Xbox charging, I don't know, like $500 for their consoles, why would people think that Nintendo wouldn't charge that for theirs?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's retarded that anyone would basically think because the Switch 1 cost this much that it would just translate and cost. That's retarded. Do people not actually use their brains?
Yeah.
What is wrong with
it's a
people?
weird scenario because I do personally feel it's a little overpriced, but at the same time, I'm like, they can price it at whatever they want, and you can make a personal decision if whether or not you want to buy it. It always makes me sad to see people get priced out of gaming because I do like people getting introduced to gaming, but at the same time, it's like they're a corporate at the end of the day, and they're going to price it the way they want to. And if somebody wants to invest that money, I'm fine with that person making a personal decision to do it. So that's where the arguments got weird to me. Is like I understand the debate of like not being okay with the price point or like looking at it and being like, what value you're actually giving me, but to then get mad at other people because they are making a personal decision to still buy that product. That's where I get confused. I'm like, that's entertainment is a personal decision. Like, when did it become such a social thing that it was like you can just completely judge and get mad and unfriend people because you don't like how they spent their money with their entertainment in their free time and how they enjoy their escapism?
Mhm.
That's what doesn't make sense.
There's
to
a
me.
lot of people on Twitter that they cannot comprehend differing opinions, and they will see a differing opinion on something as simple
Yeah.
as a console price or entertainment or liking or not liking a game, and it just completely breaks their hardwiring in their brain, and they just it doesn't compute, and so they just lash out and get angry, and it's just wild to see. And I mean, I identify with you, man, because I've made a lot of enemies because I've shit on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo. I primarily play on Steam and Nintendo, but yet I shit on them all proudly, and people get mad at me for all of the above and call me a fanboy of the next one. And
the basic thing that I tell people is like, hey, I'm just, just these are just my opinions. You don't have to agree or disagree. It doesn't really matter. I'm just saying how I think. But then when you get the receiving end of their points, it has to be like, oh, well, you didn't understand me. You just took everything I said out of context. It's like, didn't you just do that to me? It's like, why can't we just have a normal conversation? Even if it's just typing on a keyboard or phone, it doesn't matter. We're just having a conversation. I'm not saying that you should do what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm going to do whatever you're saying. It's just a conversation. It's nothing bad's going to happen out of this, right? Like, you'll have people that'll be like, why are you, because there are channels that'll make videos about new games. They'll be like, why are you playing this new game? Didn't you shit on it? Well, this is the thing, guys. People don't understand this, though. I could see a trailer for a movie, a game, a fucking TV show, whatever, and it could look bad. But if I don't actually consume what it really is, I don't really have an actual opinion on it. Now, if the trailer didn't convince you to buy it, that's a fair point, because that's what they're supposed to do. They didn't convince you to buy it, that's fine. But if I'm going to say something is good or bad, I should probably consume some of it to understand what's bad about it, because that's why that way you know what you didn't like about it. Same with a movie. You could like Sonic 3. If someone didn't like Sonic 3 and they didn't actually watch it, why the fuck would I listen to you? But if you watched it and you didn't like it and you can form your own opinion about it, that's more fair. I would say that, or like in conversation with people where someone will bring up this game sold this much, but then someone will say, well, you didn't play this game, but this conversation didn't involve me playing the game. I'm just telling you just telling you the sales of it. That's it. People don't know how to have different variations of conversations.
And people may not all people, but a lot of people tend to kind of fill in the gaps and blanks in a conversation with like whatever is going on in their own head. And I mean, I have a lot of extreme opinions on my entertainment, my media, and I go off and all that stuff, but I always try to make it clear that it's like, this is where I'm coming from. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm not telling anybody when I'm giving my takes or my opinions on our channel like that you have to do this or something. Like, for example, as a diehard former Xbox fanboy, like with the Halo announcement, when we talked about all that, I was going off, tearing Xbox apart. I was going frame by frame in the Halo trailer, explaining why this is shit. And it's like, you can buy it. I'm not saying you can't buy it and play Halo on your PlayStation or your Xbox or something. I'm just trying to give you points. And as a longtime diehard Halo fan for over 20 years now, I'm trying to explain why this is terrible. But I will not care at all if you end up playing it, and if you love it, okay, I will not. More power to you. That's totally fine. But people just can't accept it. They need that absolute. And again,
need you to like kind of approve of their decision in a way, right?
And
like,
again, even this,
it's
not all people, but there is a lot of people. There's a fraction leader.
It's like what Looney Tunes do. They need that the affirmation. They need
I'm a woman. Believe me, I'm a woman.
Yeah,
you have to acknowledge and act like this is a thing, and it's like,
ignore
no, I don't
my
believe
facial
it's
hair.
a thing. Therefore,
yeah. It's so weird how people just want you to validate all their opinions, but anytime you have anything that's slightly controversial, they're like, I can't be friends with you anymore. This is over an opinion about a movie or a game. What's wrong with you, weirdo? That's just straight up weird behavior, honestly. Yep. Hey, yep. You thought Sonic 1 was better than Sonic 3. I must dislike you now. What's wrong with you? You fucking crazy person. This is a movie. Nothing's happening.
At the same time, I also love it. And this is what I play into our channel the most is I absolutely love poking the bear. And I love going to Kay and being like, Philip CDI Zelda's the best Zelda, bitch. That's right. And it's just like, just going with that argument and that mindset. It's so fun. I think it's the wrestling fan in me. Like, I love the heat. I love to generate the heat and be a heel. So if people are going to act crazy anyway over my opinions, I might as well have the worst opinions possible and just go to the extreme and have fun with it. So
I actually love trash talking too. Like, I trash talk these guys in the chat too. They're all clout chasing bastards, and I'll always trash talk them. Good Lord, they think they're gonna clap me in Street Fighter 6. It's like, no, I'm gonna clap you guys.
Let's see that match. I want to see it.
Good Lord, and my hand hurts. My hand hurt recently, so I can't play.
You can't take him. He's injured. It's like beating up a crippled kid. What's wrong with you people? You're sick people. Sick.
I'm literally crippled from yesterday. I can't play. I'd have to show these kids how it's done these days. You won't even play us. That's because I was having sex with my wife and she was on my face, sitting on it. Like, what can I do?
You can't do both, guys.
That's
Have
true.
You tried? It's not. You need like the latest fucking tabletop fighting game. Like you need to get the pro mat and everything, and that's like $5,000. So nobody's doing that. You have to choose between the wife face sitting and playing Street Fighter.
Yeah, to me, when they shit talk me, it's like, guys, you're literally trash talking. Come on, it's like, come on, you're talking to the king here, Yeah. But we'll wrap it up here in a little bit. You guys probably have something to do. You probably have to have hot sex after this if you're talking to me, or
that's always the goal. Yeah,
or maybe you play games, which is for losers, honestly.
That I'm more in the latter. That's true, sadly. Yeah, I don't have sex. I just play games and talk about having sex, and
what was that thing? This was a meme back in the day. I don't need sex. Video games fuck me every day.
Oh my god, it's so true. It is still true. Oh my god, lost my virginity to video games. God damn you, Lara Croft.
Good Lord. Goddamn big boobs. Oh,
gotta love them. Ruined women for life.
Well, last few things. First thing is, do you guys have anything planned coming up for the rest of 2025 going into 2026 you would like to let the audience know about?
Yes, absolutely. Kay, do you want to plug it or do you want me to plug it?
No, you do it. You have fun.
All right, everybody. Well, we've had a lot of fun being here. This channel is so freaking awesome. We're Melee Games. Together, we're bringing back the glory of gaming. And the main thing I want to plug is the Melee Game Awards. Do you hate Jeff Keighley? Do you not want to see him suck Kojima's dick on stage? Well, come on down to our awards show. That is happening Friday, December 19th at 4 p.m. PST. You can vote for the game of the year, best indie, best game we didn't play on the channel, and like 30 other categories. It's fucking crazy, and it's going to be all pirate themed. You can also vote in every category, and voting is open now. Just go to our Twitter at Melee Games. The pinned form is at the top, and you can decide what is the best game in the world. Only at the Melee Game Awards you can do it. And also, you're going to create global problems if you do, because if you vote for Pirate Yakuza for Game of the Year, Israel hates you apparently. But if you vote for Brazilian drug dealer for best indie, all of Brazil loves you. That's true lore. That's true lore. We had Israeli Zoomers getting mad at us because we nominated Pirate Yakuza for Game of the Year. So now we've had an influx of Pirate Yakuza votes just to one up Israel. It's wonderful. Our award show is creating global conflicts, everyone. Go vote.
Oh God. Oh my goodness. Are you gonna invite Alyssa Mercante to your award show?
If she wants to come, Alyssa, I know David Jaffe wants to fuck you, and that's very enticing, but come on over.
Really?
No. Did you not hear that, Laura?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But no one's gonna fuck you on our award show, but you can come hang out, Alyssa, and you can go vote for Brazilian drug dealer. I know you love your drug dealers, so come on, Alyssa.
Alyssa, I know you use a strap-on in your boyfriend, but you need a real man like me. I can change you.
Yeah. Only one man can have you sit on his face while playing Street Fighter.
That's true.
And
see, that's the reason why I can't win, because I'll have someone on my face.
Like who do you main? Who's your main while someone's sitting on your face?
Fucking hell.
Dalsum?
Like Ken. Oh, okay, Dalsum's for losers. Dalsum's for bitches. Dalsum's for, if you play Dalsum, you're an actual bitch.
I just figured it'd be easy while your face is covered with ass. That it's like, all right, I'm kind of stretching around.
Oh God, man. So, last thing is, I want to ask is, do you guys have any shout outs you get to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before we head out?
Okay, go.
Hey, I want to give you a shout out. This has been a lot of fun. I always like to go on channels where you can just, where you okay, bye.
It's our channel now. We're taking over.
No, this is a lot of fun. I like to go on channels where you can just shoot the shit and say whatever, and you create that environment. So it's a lot of fun. We love to have all the jokes and everything and the shit posting. So it's nice to be on something where it's, not extremely structured. You can just hang out, have a good time, have some laughs, make fun of everyone. That's the good stuff. So I'm giving you the shout out. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, I truly hate all of you clout chasing pieces of shit out there. You know,
should.
White people are. We should do an ethnicity tier list. White, then black at the bottom. That's how it works. Or we rank genders.
Both of these things are going to get me arrested, but they'd be so fun. Oh God, what do I do?
Oh God, man. Hey, we did an ethnicity tier list back when I was on Rumble. Oh man, that was a fun show. We can't do it here.
That sounds
you gotta
amazing.
send me the link. I gotta see
Oh
that.
my God, the way everyone unanimously agreed that black women were F tier. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever heard on the show. That shit was, I crying on the floor, man. All the black, it was all black guys said it too. It wasn't a white person that said that shit, but they.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I believe it.
Iron's wife Selena just turned off her camera. She's like, I can't do this. I'm gonna walk my dogs. She left the stream and walked her dog after the ethnicity tier list was over.
Way to prove our point. No,
Oven tier list. God damn. Hitler would be not proud. Just
which one can bake the most cookies, bro? That's what.
What the hell?
In the least amount of time.
Yeah.
Like I told someone, rank these ethnicities: Asian, black, white, and Mexican.
Ooh,
black will probably always be at the bottom.
And that you can expand that. You can do a sequel. You can add, you can spread out the Asians, Chinese, Japanese, and all that. You could add in Indians.
You can get into mixes as well, when you collaborate two together.
Best mixes,
Put Muslims in there. Woo! God damn.
God. Is it a race? Is it a religion? Who knows?
If you have Israelis over Muslims, you might get shot. Actually,
we can try it. That's pretty much our award show right now. What is our Muslim vote? Let's see. What do we got? Well, Pirate Yakuza is the anti-Israeli joke. What would be I guess Doom, the Dark Ages, would be the anti-Muslim vote, right? because it's so like
I
fighting
guess-
demons. I guess I don't know.
I don't
I'm trying
know.
to figure it out. Expedition. Our game of the year is Donkey Kong Bonanza, Expedition 33, Pirate Yakuza, and Doom: The Dark Ages. You guys decide if Pirate Yakuza is anti-Israeli, which of the other 3 games is anti-Muslim. I think
Yep.
Doom.
And if this show, if someone super chats me $1,000, we will do a ice shower with my dad simulator playthrough. That's what you got to do. You need
Hell
$1,000
yeah.
because I'm whoring myself well for money on YouTube now. Actually, no more. Even if I wanted to do super chats, I'm not doing it because after what I heard about that Camelot shit, I'm not even gonna. I'm just PayPal or Cash
Man,
App.
That's
is what I'm
crazy,
doing.
man.
Awful. I feel so
Camelot's
bad for
awesome
him.
too.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I hope that-
Camelot's a cool dude.
Yeah, that sucks though. So if that ever happened, no, just to send me money. It'd be like a pledge, like a channel thing. You pay MSK's rent for a month, please. Oh God. These people aren't good for Mac. They enable him. What are you
I'm an
talking
enabler.
about?
Yeah, we're pretty bad influences.
Yeah.
I like to bring out the worst in people.
95% of women are trash.
Yes.
Black women stink. Marriage is garbage.
That's true.
Good Lord. I don't know. There's Indians stink.
Can
Jews
confirm.
run the country. All the controversial things you got to say.
I'm getting arrested.
Squeeze them out in the last second. There you go.
All Mexicans do is rap. They don't speak English. I prefer if
Mhm.
they speak English in my country, but it's okay. It's fine. I dated one of them, so it's all good. I know how they are.
Woo.
But thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. It's awesome having Melee Games on for the first time. Can't wait to have them on again in the future. We will see